That's probably
I don't
going to
know.
be the.
I think, oh, yeah, I can see it
I'm
warming.
wondering if there's a way that I could share my. Could you? Are you able to get
Don't you
into flow hockey or no?
I have
Who?
no idea. I haven't bothered, but I reckon the biggest problem would be that. Oh, you mean share with me? I'm not sharing on your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Trav, is there a
I
link?
can just.
Trav?
Where'd
Oh,
you
you're
go?
looking. Okay. Yeah, I just didn't know if it was banned in your country or if it like how that worked.
I have no idea, but probably. But I don't think there's no Swedish outlet that airs AHL games anymore. The same outlet that has NHL now had AHL before, but I don't think there was enough interest.
Let's do. Let's do. There it is. I got you. I got you. Right.
I just sent it to you. All
Oh.
right.
We're gonna clip as we're going to. As we're talking, I'll give you. Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
It doesn't say anything on their Webby that it's says watch anytime, anywhere on any device.
And let's do.
All righty. Well, Nick, we're live.
We're live. I'm still running
live.
like sound. I'm still running sound the horn right now too. So I'm trying to figure out like get everything going. The this whole season we've done sound the horn with the couple different people, Lane Shercliffe, Carlo from Hockeytown Rundown, Zach Trathon from Hockeytown Rundown as well, Andrew Rinaldi from I don't know where I think he's Calder Times now still, and then obviously Brandon, Trav, and then who else is in there? I'm missing somebody.
Rinaldi.
Did
Did you say Rinaldi?
yeah, I said Rinaldi. Yeah, is that everybody?
That's everybody. That's everybody.
Well, tonight is a big game. And we've got some big guests tonight, too. So if you're able to catch us on the first period, we've got Mr. Lars from the Swedish Winger. Are you making your North American podcast debut tonight,
Yeah.
Lars?
Yeah, for sure. but big guest. I'm not sure. I'm think you're scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
No, not at all. You are probably you have been top on our list to get on. I'm sure the request will be coming through soon. The time difference, we greatly appreciate because you said it's what, 1 o'clock in the morning there?
Yeah. 104.
So it's a late night for you, but you said you're also watching some of the hockey games to the NHL?
Yeah, I'm watching Blues and Jets, so it's no worries.
There's just so much going on. Like, there's so much hockey to watch right now. You got the Stanley Cup playoffs going on. Griffins' last game of the year. ECHL playoffs are on. So it's just like there's so much going on, not to mention what else is like going on overseas even.
Yeah, we have the
Let's go.
SHL finals here. Well, it's the final game now. So game 1 was today. And then we have the promotion games in Hockeyallsvenskan as well with AIK and Djurgården.
Who are you rooting for in the Stanley Cup, Lars?
Rooting for in the Stanley Cup. See, the
Yeah.
thing with loyalty, I really don't pick teams I don't support. Like, it's Detroit or nothing. But I think I have the Stars as my winners in my bracket. I think they'll overcome their injuries and get it done anyway.
They're overdue for a cup, I feel.
Yeah.
Definitely
As long
a lot
as the Leafs are out in first, I'm happy.
Well, that's typical fashion.
I have that happening in my bracket. It took us.
Me too. I also have St. Louis winning. I'm not sure I believe that any longer after watching the game. I think the Jets are so good. Still 2-2 though.
Iowa's wearing their alternates. Is that their third jersey? The white with the state outline, Nick? Isn't that their alternate?
For whose? Dallas?
No, Iowa.
Oh, yes. That is an alternate. It's that ugly cream jersey.
Well, they're not wearing that one. They're wearing the white one with the outline of with like the Wild logo. That's this outline of Iowa.
I gotta see it.
Who's in goal for Iowa?
I believe they're going Jasper, but I could be wrong. Travis, your dad is yelling at you in the chat.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't even see the chat, so... Oh, here we go. Should probably turn...
There you go.
Listen, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, I'm screaming into the mic now. I've addressed this with, like, Brandon and Nick. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I need a new mic. All of us need new mics.
We'll take donations in the Patreon.
My gain is jacked. It's jacked all the way up. I don't know what else to tell you.
So if you're I see some comments coming through. So we got Lars on here. Talk to us a little bit about our two newcomers. We've got, and I'm hoping you could give us some insight on some of the guys that are potentially coming over or in the pipeline. I know I've been pretty heavy on the Dower Nilsson twins, but
yeah, if they just could stay uninjured, they keep breaking down. So, but I reckon they're good. They have potential, but I think they're still quite far away from NHL plays. So, but one more season in Sweden, maybe before AHL. At least for Noah, the younger brother.
we need all of the forwards we can get right now because I feel with the way Detroit is moving, a lot of them are moving on up, which is good. It's just as the bottom feeder, like as the feeder team, we need some more talent.
Yeah, I can imagine it being quite frustrating to see all the good guys go up. So, yeah. That never happens here in Sweden because we have our different like tiers, promotion, demotion. There's no movement between teams in that way here. There's no trading in Sweden. You can't swap two players for each other. That never happens.
That's interesting. It's interesting too, like how much different like it seems the game's played over there. I think like with the wider ice, it's definitely a lot different.
Yeah, it's a huge difference in terms of how they actually play the game. I reckon it's less fast and more like shutting down the opponent's skating, like slowing them down. Because if you get to gain speed on that wide ice, you come into the zone quite. It's dangerous pretty fast though.
I mean, when I played youth hockey, we played on like a international surface a couple times, and it is a huge there's a lot of adjusting that goes on because it's so much wider and it's even I think a little longer. So it's just like the width is what really stands out to me though. How much wider the ice is.
Yeah, is it? Let's see, feet, 85 feet, the standard in the AHL.
Yeah, North American sheets.
Yeah, so it's 8 by 200.
Yep.
I think it's 200 by 100.
Okay, so it's just wider.
Yeah, I think so. Not entirely sure, but I think that's the way.
We got Julian asking us how we feel about today's game. Um, I feel a little nervous, to be honest. I'm definitely gonna be scoreboard watching the Chicago game. So if you're tuning in if first time or if you haven't really been following, today's game is actually huge for us. It'll determine the seeding for the playoffs. So we're already clinched, we're already in. Now what it comes down to is, do we get the play-in round against Rockford? And rumors are that that series will start in Rockford. I don't know why. They said building availability, but we've checked our sources. Both Grand Rapids and Rockford have no events that week. So it could be it should start, if we had to play in the play around, it would start here in Grand Rapids with Rockford on the road. It looks like it's going to be switched at this point. So I don't know until we get confirmation from the AHL. So what needs to happen today is we actually need to either win, or Chicago needs to lose in regulation or in overtime. They have to lose. If we go to overtime and we get a point, we're still ahead of Chicago. Now, if Chicago wins, and we lose, we tie them in the standings, but Chicago owns the tiebreaker, so they would jump us. We would play Rockford. I would rather us have the Chicago versus Chicago, Rockford. That series be the play-in round. They're super close together. Travel's going to be better for them. And then we would play, I believe it's Dallas. It's Texas, I believe, for the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, right? Like, you kind of just see how the season's gone and how they started out so well, and then they just kind of, they had this downward spiral, and it's so weird with how the playoff formats are. Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense in a best of three. Like, just have them all in the same place. Like, kind of how baseball does it. Like, with the first wild card round, it's a best of three at the higher seeds place, and you got to win 2 or 3 on the road. Like, I don't know. That just to have travel in a best of 3 series seems silly to me.
Well, I mean, it kind of comes down to in your guys' in the E, it's crazy.
Yeah, 2 and 5.
2 and 5 in one of those.
Yeah, you imagine that, Lars, a best of 7 series where it's a 2-5 format.
A 2-5 format?
Yeah, so the first 2 games are in one building and then the rest of them are in the other team's building.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's tough. Like last year,
Why?
Toledo, just mainly building availability.
Okay.
They schedule concerts, monster truck races, bull riding, basketball, volleyball.
That's not an issue over here. There's not much bull riding in Sweden. I can tell you. Not much monster trucks either.
I'm dying to go to one of those games in Sweden because just the atmosphere there. It's like, is it like that all the time? Regular season, playoff, like. Can you speak on that?
No. Well, you have. It's a trend in Sweden with the tifo.
Yeah.
That I've put out on Twitter from time to time. It's actually an Italian football, soccer for you.
Yeah.
Thing to have these big arrangements before games. So that's been a thing now for a fair few years in Sweden. And it's usually you have the best games when it's rivalry games and playoff games. That's when you really have, or they're celebrating something, like some old player getting a jersey retirement. We don't have that same way as you guys do, like with the huge ceremonies, but it's sort of a ceremony, and then it's usually the standing like fans. We have standing sections and sitting sections. So the standing sections are the ones that you usually set up the tifos. The big things they hoist up like by the webbing, the cutouts of players and stuff like they have. So that's a huge difference. I saw the Detroit Toronto game in Sweden, and now, well, fair enough. It's not a lot of like American fans in the same way as it would be in Detroit, I'd imagine. But it's quite a different spectacle either way, because NHL are the ones that like run the game. So it's a lot of clap your hands and stuff, which is not a thing here, or dance cameras or dudes with like sombreros and stuff. Doesn't happen here. Everything like that is kind of frowned upon, like kiss cams and stuff. That's
None
no,
of that over there, huh?
no, no. I mean, it's a whole different thing. I mean, if you look at like Hockeyallsvenskan now with the AIK versus Djurgården, there's zero away fans on those games because that's two teams from Stockholm. If you put those two fans in the same building, they'll fight.
Oh, jeez.
So there's no away tickets. So in a Djurgården home game, you can't wear AIK stuff.
Oh my god.
You can't wear it. So if you're a AIK fan who got a ticket, neutral clothing, you can't celebrate a goal. You might get tossed for that.
Holy cow.
Because well, it's actually you can get beaten up if you're unlucky. It's not that common, but it's still there's a lot of violence between the supporter groups there. It carries over from football.
It's one, like, me and my wife were traveling to see all the NHL arenas, and I told her, I said, when we get done, like, one place I want to go to watch a game is Sweden, just to see the difference in atmosphere, because like when the SHL, for instance, is on flow, it's so much different. Like, it seems like it's just a big vibe and party, really.
It really is. I mean, if you go on a weekend, everybody's a bit drunk, and no, it's a good thing. I mean, if you go to the right game at the right time, it can be absolutely awesome. But then you have like the weekday games versus teams that nobody cares about. It's like Toronto.
So
Silent, I mean.
let's dive into some of the like Swedish prospects. Like, I mean, obviously the two that just came over, like, are Michael Brandtzig Nygaard and obviously
Axel
he's not
City.
Swedish, but and then, like Nick said, Axel Sandin Pellikka. But coming out of the SHL, what were kind of your thoughts with you being over there, getting to watch them on a daily basis?
Well, not on a daily basis, yeah, but yeah, I've watched them as much as I can, on TV, and as much as I can when they play my local team here, Brynäs, who's in the final now. And Brandtzig Nygaard is like, he's a throwback type of player. He's a power forward kind of guy, but he still has that massive shot of his, and he's not like he doesn't have the skill. He's fairly skilled as well, but he's more of a. My wife has a good name for him, but I was told I couldn't swear, so it's a C word, very popular in England.
Okay.
Yeah, that little C word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
quite
he's a shit
interesting.
disturber. He's an
Yeah.
absolute shit disturber. He's everywhere. He gets in everybody's face. But he also has this. His issue for me is like he gets tunnel vision. Like he decides on what to do, and sometimes he doesn't see the good pass he could make. But I think that comes. He's a very energetic type of player, and he's so fun to watch. He has some Brady Kachuk to him.
That's an interesting comparison.
I'm not saying he's going to be equal,
Right.
but the same style.
That's something I think Detroit kind of needs too. They need
Oh,
someone
I
that
agree.
sandpaper
yeah.
with the skill that can score.
And we saw a lot of that with Marco last year down here. I think while he's with the Wings, he's not as comfortable up there doing what he was doing down here. Just kind of toeing the line, moving the puck after the whistle away from players. Just kind of shoot, like, give him a little push here or there, which, I mean, we absolutely love it. I think he'll grow into that role up with the bigger club, but it's good to see. It's something that's definitely needed down here as well in Grand Rapids. Is that's why we love Austin Watson so much down here.
Yeah, and if you compare like Marco Casper with someone, it's more Joel Eriksson Ek, Minnesota Wild, because he's also the type of guy that gets under your skin. He's more subtle with it. Bronson Nico is more in your face, like a Brady Kachuk. Like
That's
he
very
could
interesting.
easily like pick someone's mouth guard and toss it away or something like that. He's always in. He's always in the in the mess, which was kind of funny now that we saw Austin Watson go berserk the other day, and I was just watching like what's Branteg Nygård doing now, and he looked for someone to hug because I don't think he's that comfortable with throwing the gloves yet.
If you would have, holy crap.
Yeah,
Well,
but
he is a
I'm
young
not
guy,
sure.
so
Yeah. But
we
I think yeah. I mean, considering fighting is not a thing here at all. I mean, if there's fighting, there's no gloves coming off, so they fight with the gloves on. And I don't think Branson Nygård is there yet, but he might. We've seen Simon Edvinsson go a couple of times now, right?
Wait, say that last part again.
Simon Edvinsson, he has thrown the gloves a couple of times, hasn't he? In Detroit, he had a fight or two, right?
who was it, Lars?
Well, I'll say it in English then. Simon
Oh,
Edvinsson.
Oh, okay, okay. There you go.
His name is Simon Edvinsson.
Okay. That
well,
seemed
you
that's
gotta
an
slow it
interesting
down
piece.
for us here.
Yeah.
We're American.
Yo, but he's been fighting a couple of times, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm willing to bet he never did that in Sweden at any point in his like
You're right.
junior. I don't think he's ever thrown the gloves like that. Ever.
Yeah, I mean, going back to last year when he was here with the Flying Toasters night like that, he's just going at it with. Oh man, I'm gonna forget the guy's name. I wish Brandon was here; he'd be able to tell me. But just yeah, he was throwing the gloves, and they said over the summer he was traded like MMA.
Yeah, but
So
he's been doing that for a while. So maybe it comes more natural to him to punch someone in the face. But I think we'll see that from Branson Nygård as well, because if you have that style, eventually it'll come. It'll be forced upon you at least eventually if you have that style that you piss everybody off at every turn.
That's an interesting piece, and like each to kind of transition it over to like Axel Sandy and Pelika. Like, talk about like just his game. I mean, everybody sees the offensive upside, but what's your take on him?
Well, the offensive upside is quite obvious, isn't it? I mean, the guy has ice in his veins. I mean, there's like nothing facing him, and if he does something that doesn't end up as he was like planning it, then he just shrugs it off and keeps playing. I mean, he's so unshakable in his style offensively. Defensively, there's been a lot of people like saying that he's not as solid defensively, but he is. He's just not as physically like imposing. He's more of a the good stick idea. You hear that all the time when you look at like practices. You hear good stick, and he's the master of that. Like the poke check is his forte, and he wins a lot of pucks along the boards by just poke checking the opponent. So, but he's more of a style wise a Cale McCarr type player.
I could see that he's like last night he was fast with his decision making, with his skating, and with his passing too. Uh, and he's more on the offensive. I was telling my buddy Dave, like he's probably going to be like kind of like a Carlson type, where it's just all offense all the time from this guy.
Yeah, it's easy to make that connection, but I think he's better defensively than Carlson was at the same age. Carlson is more like a Paul Coffey, like he's the fourth forward. Axel Sandin Pelika is not really like that in the same like vein. but he has a lot of offense in him, and you see him as well as he toes the line. He can dance on the blue line,
Oh
and he
yeah.
waits the absolute last moment where you just like, no, this is going to hell, and he just sends the perfect pass.
Said spits it
Everything,
out.
yeah, he's crazy like that. It's always on the like thinnest of margins, but he always gets it done. I mean, it's kind of hard to like say he's gonna be like this all-star D man, but you have to understand how many records this kid has broken in Sweden. It's insane. Most goals and points by U23 D man. He's in the league, and then the same thing in the playoffs as well. He has crazy stats.
So let me
He's
ask you this: like with a guy like that, he's undersized, but at this like not undersized, but he's not the biggest guy. Like he's no Simon Edvinson as far as height and stuff like that. But you mentioned how good he is with his like stick checking and poke checking. Like also with his skating, does that kind of keep him in the right position at times?
Yeah. I mean, he's very positionally sound. I mean, he's been working with Niklas Kronwall a lot in Sweden. So, I mean, if there's anyone to learn that from, I think you couldn't ask for a better master than that. And he has a quite close relationship with Niklas Lidström as well. So, I mean,
Makes it easy when you have a couple
yeah.
really great players to kind of ask questions to and lean on when you have questions.
Yeah, but when you look at Axel Sandin Pellikka's game, like in Sweden, you don't see many like errors. He doesn't cause many goals against. There will be times that he sees something that his fellow players like miss, and the player when goes awry. But he's not a liability in any way, shape, or form. He just isn't.
quick update on the game. Grand Rapids is down 1-0. We just got it was a bad turnover at our end. Luke Middlestillbacher ends up just sniping one home against Campbell, who's in net tonight with the travel. So not looking good. And Chicago and Rockford play each other tonight. They do play an hour after. They start an hour after. So ours will be finished up before they play, which is just terrible timing. So
Well, if they get a point, then they don't got to worry about it. So
yeah, yeah.
But
Hey,
go looking at the goal, like you can't do that. I mean,
it's been a
literally
problem all
right up,
season.
like yeah, like that's hockey 101. Like you never go up the middle like that, and it's just put it up the boards and live to fight another day. Going up the middle, like when you go up the middle like that, I mean, there's literally a dude standing in the slot. He put it right on his tape. Like you can't. That should be something that by now at this point in the year is like worked out.
Well, tonight's defensive pairings have all been swapped as well, with the two guys being out tonight is Bouillon and Anton Johansson. Uh, both were suspended from clearing the benches last night in the crazy altercation with everything that happened in the last minute of the second period last night. Um, what are your thoughts? Lars, give us your thoughts on Anton. I'm surprised that he's not being paired with Axel since they played together, didn't they?
Well, they might have played in the national team, but they didn't play together in the SHL. Usually, when you saw Axel Sandin Pellikka play national team hockey, like with the J20 team, he played with Theo Lindstein, or the St. Louis pick, who
Mm-hmm.
plays for Brynäs now. They were a solid pair for the World Juniors. But I think he had some time with Anton Johansson, but it wasn't his like standard partner.
Well, it's tough
But
because aren't they both right-handed? Isn't
yeah,
Anton right-handed? So I mean that would make sense too why they're not together.
but I think if I'm not misremembering completely, I think they had like four righties on the Swedish World Junior team. It was very strange with the handedness on the team. They had four or five righties on the Swedish team.
Which is so weird because that's like the most coveted thing on a like defense, right? A right shot defenseman, and then like
Swedish
if you,
parents know this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's their
it seems
ticket
like
out.
it. It's like the most coveted position in the NHL, and Sweden's got a lot of them in their system.
Yeah. No, Anton Johansson is a funny pick though. I mean, we picked him fairly late, if I'm not remembering. Isn't he like
I believe a 4th-round pick.
yeah, fourth rounder? Yeah, 105 overall. So he was kind of raw when we picked him, and he's the son of the GM in the team in Leksand.
Okay.
So his dad is the GM, and he was very raw. He was very much like looking for the big hits and pinching at the wrong moments a lot in his first SHL season. But as time passed and he matured, he became quite good, and I think he'll stick in the AHL. I don't think Detroit would want to send him back to Leksand. Actually, I think if I were Detroit, I would try to keep him in North America. I think his style lends a lot to the smaller ice as well.
It's funny you say that he had some trouble pinching in the SHL because we're seeing that here with him as well, and I don't know if it's just he's just still trying to get used to the ice, and maybe that's why he's pinching and then also like cheating a little bit more for the offense on that side as well. But I think
Vince.
and then all year I've been craving for offense from our defense. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword on my end. But I think we're looking at it as the path. If he goes back, it's because he doesn't want to be that third or fourth pairing, or on that second or third, or on that third line pairing for defense. If Axel's here, I think he's going back. Is kind of what Brandon and I's thoughts were. If he's here, he's got that clear path to develop and get the ice time that he wants.
Yeah. But there's a couple of guys that their contracts are up in Grand Rapids as well, right?
Mm-hmm. There's space for him next year. Yeah,
I'm hoping. I like him as a player. I want him. I've been wanting him here since I watched him in the World Juniors fighting everybody. I was like, this guy is our guy. We need this guy here.
And he's smiling while doing it always as well.
Yeah. He's always so happy. Yeah. We've been able to talk with him post game, and he's just eager, ready to go. Good English too from him. So getting a full season with him, and I know when he came over, he was saying in post game, he's like, it's been difficult with the time change. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I didn't really realize that. And then also like I think just moving because I think he's in a hotel still over here. So him and Finney are in a hotel together.
Yeah, that's gotta suck though.
Yeah, I mean it's sadly. I mean, like if that's like the only option, you'd think that like players would have options to live with another player, like maybe at like an apartment, something a little more suitable. But
you think Marco left his keys around, for his apartment here, before he left to go to Detroit.
Yeah. I think that's the hardest part for these guys coming over is the culture change and losing all your like friends and everything, because they come from quite close like families and all their friends from school and everything, and they just get dropped in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I mean,
not Ohio.
Probably never. No, that's Jonathan Berger's place. That's where he went.
That's where Bergie went.
Yeah.
That's
no, but
so
I reckon
funny.
that's the hardest part for them. I mean, just imagine being like 18, 19 years old and just all your buddies are left home.
Yeah.
I've
heard so many. What?
Are they still going to school while they're playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Marco Kasper finished school. I think you can even find like pictures of him with the white hat and everything from we call it student, and it's graduation basically.
Oh.
I don't think he partied that much though, but it's usually a big party.
Was MBN in school this year then?
Yeah, I think both Axel Sandin Pellikka and MBN was in school in Skellefteå. They go usually. We have look. I work in school. I'm a teacher, so I work at something called the gymnasiet, which would be somewhere between college and high school for you. The students they age out at about 20, 19, 20. They take like graduation. Um, so usually they elect like a team. A team recruits them. Like Skellefteå recruited Axel Sandin Pellikka and MBN, and they go to school, but they also have like extra time for hockey practice.
Okay.
So they form classes around so they can still be professional players, but they still have like homework and they have to do the math and social science and everything. Like it's not like the American version.
It sounds similar to college. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like a college schedule then.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You think that factored a lot into MBN's decision to go back? Because I think the organization really wanted him here this
No,
year.
I think that mattered a lot, and I think that in some way I reckon he'd want to go over with Axel, so they came together. That's one thing, and I think he felt that. I mean, he played in Mora in Hockeyallsvenskan, a fairly bad team or a middling team in Hockeyallsvenskan, which is the second tier, and then he got recruited by Skellefteå. So he went from Norway to second tier Sweden to first tier Sweden in 3 years. So just going from there to North America is another step up. So I reckon he wanted to take it a little bit slower.
Anybody go ahead, Trev.
I mean, I just want to say you can't really fault the player for that. Like,
Right.
It's like kind of the Trey Augustine thing. Like he thinks that's the best option for him. Like, what's so funny? It's serious. Like,
I know.
He made the decision. Like, credit to the person and the player for doing what they think is best for them.
I agree.
I agree. I love Trey. I just really want him here. That's why I laugh. You're gonna bring that back into the conversation here, Travis.
I'm just saying it's like a very similar, like it's a similar thing. Like each of them made their own decision. Like MBN basically, I think it sounded like he like told the Wings like I really want to go play in Sweden, and it's no different than Trey wanting to go back to MSU, and with what Lars has said and how important the schooling is, I think that's an important piece.
No, I agree. I reckon like, what's the rush?
Yeah,
that's the thing for me. I mean, these guys, if they don't feel it, like I really want to come there right now, don't. I mean, there's no rush. They're not in a bad spot where they are they?
No, and I mean, look at how well, I would say both of them have benefited, but especially with Axel, how well he's played over there and how good of a couple years he's had. It's why rush a guy over, and it actually kind of leads me to a question with ASP. I know you said earlier, like, you think he'll go straight to Detroit, and he very well could, but like at the same time, do you think there's a world where he could start with the Griffins just to kind of get even more acclimated to the American game
in America?
For sure. Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I think it'll all depend on what he does in camp. If he dominates in camp, like smashes the door in like Lucas Raymond did, I mean, Detroit didn't have an option to send Lucas Raymond down.
Right.
People would go berserk. So if Axel does that, I think he could stick in Detroit from the get-go. But development-wise, I mean, he is a unique talent. That's like the crux of it. He is that good. He is awesome. But what's the rush? So he could end up in Grand Rapids for sure.
Were you kind of surprised in his draft year that he went as late as he did in the first round?
Yes. Extremely. I actually wrote that my perfect draft was picking Axel Sandin Palika with the first pick and Nate Danielson with the second pick. That would be my perfect draft. And then they just flipped it on me. But that I was so happy after that first round, and he kept falling. So, but I think many. I've said this before, and I said it on my meanderings on my podcast, that there's a narrative every time. Every time we watch like prospects, we watch the World Juniors or young players, and on average, like there's a narrative that sticks to them. Like Simon Edvinsson didn't have any offense. We heard that a lot for a while, and I know where it came from, but it's all crap.
Yes.
Yeah. So it becomes a truth, and I think that for Axel Sandin Paleka was that he was a smallish D-man who wasn't that strong, and that caused him to fall.
Hey, we're glad for that because I have not been this excited for a prospect in a long time, and like just watching him last night, I honestly think he kicks the door down because you could just tell last night on the ice he was that much further ahead of everybody else. Like I haven't seen somebody come in like this and just run away with it. I felt.
No, and that was his debut as well.
Yeah, I think, and I might be so biased on this since everybody can, pile on me in the comments, but I just felt he was like head and shoulders, and that first power play with him and Ammo last night, I'm like, oh, there's magic here. Like he connected, his chemistry with Amadeus Lombardi was so quick and so instant, and I'm like, this is something to keep an eye on, and I hope that they are playing more together even off of the power play to be able to see that continue to grow because like it was just I don't know it was so special to watch and I'm so mad that these games are away because I would being running the podcast and being media like being able to interview him after the game and being able to see him live is just it's so different.
Yeah, I mean, you have that feeling on watching history, right? This is gonna be epic. And
Yeah.
this is going to be. I was there when he made his debut, like this, that type of feeling. And
Yeah,
being biased, I mean, nobody's more biased than me when it comes to the Swedish prospects. I mean,
I was this close to driving down to Rockford last night, yesterday, calling into work yesterday and today, going down there watching because I just felt like it was such a big deal. Like and even Bob Kaiser, he's been mentioning all week, like these guys, this is a big deal for everybody. And I don't know anybody else in Red Wings Nation that is like, there's just been such a buzz around the team with these guys coming in. It's unfortunate that, we lost last night and we're down 1-0 right now, but like these guys give such a big jump to this lineup.
yeah, just imagine now that the playoffs start, though.
yeah.
You'll see these guys in playoffs, and they just come from a really hard fought like playoff series already. So they're playoff hardened in a way, not North American playoffs naturally, but still, they know the importance of playoff games and everything. So
And MBN's been on a hot streak since when he left while he was in the playoffs over in Sweden. And I'm like,
Yeah.
his points start tallying up, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect timing. I was like, as soon as they get eliminated, if they do get eliminated, hopefully he's assigned here, and he's going to be running that same. Hopefully, he can keep the momentum going.
yeah, he was awesome in the playoffs.
Is there? I know we're at the first intermission already. Is there anybody that maybe that's already been drafted? Anybody that we should draft this coming draft that we as Red Wings fans and media over here, podcasters, should be keeping an eye on? Anybody come to your mind, Lars?
In terms of the draft this time, it all depends on where we pick. Naturally, if we get a higher pick, I mean, everybody's talking about Anton Frondell and Victor Eklund. I mean, that's obvious.
Yeah.
They are also very, very talented players. Further down, I think you have Milton Gestrin is one player. and then you have a guy called Jakob Isvosniak. He has a Swedish and Australian passport, so our Australian fans would love him to be picked. But that's a good guy as well. A rather safe pick. He'll be like a second, third line type player. Has a hell of a shot, awesome scoring touch. So there's a few really good ones. It depends on what we want, though. I mean, we can't only have Swedes, even though I would think it was fun.
The more the better, I feel.
Yeah, sure. But there's a couple. I mean, when you look at Detroit, there's so many openings, isn't there?
Yeah.
And you have the same thing in Grand Rapids as well. There's so many openings. There's so many like replaceable players.
I think forward's probably going to be the most between forward and defenseman. It's going to be the most high pressing. I don't know if we need any more goalies. I think
we're good there.
No,
I think we're good there.
The rumor is that we already signed the Swedish goalie. Yeah.
Yeah, Arvid Holm.
Yep. He's
huge. I said, can you speak out? That's not a surprise. We've seen all of these goalies in training camp in Traverse City, and everybody is like 6 foot. They're like monsters in all their equipment. Can you speak out Arvid at all?
Yeah, sure. He won the goalie of the year in Sweden in the SHL. He's what can you say? I mean, he was drafted like 2017, and I don't think he enjoyed the AHL scene that much in Manitoba. And then he got traded to Colorado, played a couple of games in the Eagles, and then ended up in Utah in the ECHL. But if you look at his stats this year, I mean, he played 35 games for Rögle, the same team Marco Kasper played with, and Moritz Seider. And 35 games, he had a 92.5% save stat. So he let in 1.9 goals a game for a team that kind of struggled for half the season. And he's a big dude. He's 6'5" and 205 pounds.
It would be interesting to see where that. I mean, obviously that's still an unconfirmed thing, right? With him still playing over there.
No, he's not playing.
Oh, he's not playing.
No. We're at the final now, so it's just Brynäs and Luleå. That's the only two teams playing. Everybody else are done for the season.
Yeah, I guess until like it's actually announced by like if the Wings announce that, like it's still kind of like a rumor at this point. But like it'd be interesting to see where he fits into the organization if that does come to fruition and they do sign him.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it?
It is, because there's so many guys. Like they've, for whatever reason, they have this crazy obsession with goaltenders. It feels like you've got you had almost too many all year at times. It felt like
3 too many.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the they keep rolling the dice and it's coming up snake eyes every time.
Well, and I think that too is like our first year covering the Griffins is like we went through Usi Okanera, we went through like we had, and he I don't want to say he quit, but he left halfway through the season. So then we were kind of and it was like we're kind of reaching to find somebody to cover, and I can't remember who our other 2 goalies were, and I'm sure somebody's gonna. I wish Brandon was here to be able to help me out. But yeah, I think it's at least having them in the organization where we can call them down from Toledo or over from Toledo, or stashing them wherever else in the ECHL like we did with who's our guy, Trav?
Who's that?
That we Gage.
Oh yeah, with Gage.
Gage Alexander.
Yeah.
I don't think with Holm that I'm not expecting Holm to be in the ECHL. Like
I don't either.
The year Jussi Olkinuora played for Grand Rapids, they had 9 goalies.
Yeah, I was gonna say we went through like St. Clair. It was okay. I'm trying to remember the other like 4 or 5. I think it was
Larson in that year.
I know.
Larson that year.
You have Jon Bednar, Ryan Bednard.
Yeah, Bernard.
Victor Brattström, who's playing
Yep.
for AIK now as OIK. Kosa, Magnus Hellberg, Jon Letherman, Nedeljkovic, Olkinora, and Censur.
Yeah. And I actually met Bradstrom just in my regular job a couple times. A super nice guy. How is he doing over there?
He's been great. He's been awesome for OIK. I had a couple of brain farts the other game. He actually pretty much gave away a goal, but no, he's had a hell of a season. He's a big part of why OIK is where they are in this final. So,
and speaking of past goaltenders too, John Letherman, we've had him on the podcast as well. Have you been able to catch any of his games or?
Well, he's in Liga.
Oh, my bad.
I can watch Finnish hockey. I choose not to.
Yeah, that's kind of like going against the grain there, buddy. Like,
No, that's not my.
Your cup of tea.
No, Liga is fun, but it's also very different from the SHL. You can have a guy score 60 goals in Liga and come over to Sweden and score 20. It's much more of a north-south hockey. It's like a bit of gung-ho. Very much more offensive. You saw that with the was it Slavkovsky that was in Liga before he was drafted, I think. He was doing great. He was doing great, and then when he came to Montreal, I think everybody was surprised that he didn't score as much.
Oh, that makes me concerned about Kiskinen then.
Well, he has more to his game than scoring.
Yeah, he plays a little heavier, I think, than.
Yeah.
That's Slavkovsky.
Yeah, I think he's more a little two-way than what Slavkovsky was when he was drafted. Granted, one was a first overall pick and the other was a third-round pick, but
I think Kiskinen and Bransen Nygård on the same line next year in Grand Rapids would be absolutely crazy.
it'd be fun.
You're confirming that, Lars?
No, yeah, I'm confirming that. Yeah, sure. No worries. No, I reckon that would be absolutely awesome because they are kind of the same type of players. I mean, they both play a kind of a heavy game, and they both like to get everybody rattled. So, no, I reckon that would be an interesting setup. They get everybody angry, so Austin Wilson have to take care of them.
He has been a gem this year for us down here at Grand Rapids. So happy to have him.
Seems like a character as well.
Oh, he is super fun at the post game in the locker room. I'll say that. He's probably one of the guys that we do just love requesting because of just how he is personality-wise. But we're winding down. I know it's late over there, Lars. We appreciate you coming on here. We definitely need to get you back on here, just on a regular episode with us, sometime throughout the summer. I know Travis got to take he's got to walk away for a minute, but anything you want to say? We got we're up to 213 people now. Anything you want to say to the North American side, the Wings fans, the Griffins fans? Plug away.
Plug my own shit.
Yeah, of course.
Oh man, you'll find me on Twitter. Refuse to call it X. That's a stupid name. At Lars. Well, why do I call myself Lars? Lars. That's my name. Lars Thorsell for you guys. And the Swedish Winger is my own podcast where I sit and meander about the Swedish prospects and Detroit and everything else. So that's where I am. And I have intermittent episodes on the podcast. There's no regularity whatsoever.
And we have tagged you on our announcement as well, so you're able to find him there if you're tuning in. I still call it Twitter as well. so you're able to find him on there. Connect with Lars. Sorry, and tune in. You know, I thank you. I know it's getting close to 2 a.m. here on your time, so anytime we'll connect again in the summer and have you out for a full episode. Probably maybe a little bit after the draft. You know, we'll see who we end up picking up and gain some insight from you. So
yeah, sure, we could do both pre-draft and post-draft if you want. I'm game, as long as not when I have to get up for work. It's no worries.
yeah.
If it was a work day tomorrow, my timer would ring in about 4 hours.
Oh no. I don't
appreciate it, Lars.
We appreciate
it's
it.
No worries. It's no worries. It's just fun. Just fun.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll let you either take and go to sleep, I guess. Right?
I don't know. Actually, I mean, St.
gotta
Louis
finish
leads
this Blues
Winnipeg. St. Louis leads Winnipeg, making my bracket happy. So, well, I hope you get to enjoy the boys as much as possible, though.
Oh, I hope so. I hope we go on a long path. I know Elmer got announced today that he'll be coming back to join us here in Grand Rapids, so that should make for a little bit bigger or more depth in our lineup. So hopefully that helps us push this a little bit over the edge.
Isn't he a Cinderella story for this season?
I'm glad to see it. Glad to see it, to be honest.
I mean, if he played as many games as Tarasenko, they would be on the same point total. Tarasenko has 33 points, I think, in 80 games. I think Elmer has 11 in 25, I think. I'm not sure. So Elmer is as dangerous as Tarasenko. Or no, that sounds bad. That sounds like a slight, doesn't it?
No.
For Elmer, yeah. No, Elmer's looking good, eh?
He's looking fantastic. I was surprised he's been up there as long as he has, but he's playing well, and we're looking forward to having him back. We're surprised that he was made eligible for us for the playoffs. So very excited. Very excited.
Well, cheers, boys. Thanks for having me on. It was good fun. And I'll catch you next time then.
We'll catch you next time, Lars. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lars.
Happy Easter, boys.
Happy Easter. Oops. All right, we're going to add Elaine to... Elaine, can you hear us?
Can you hear me? I don't have my mic. It's still packed in the back.
Elaine.
So are my headphones. I'm sorry. Headphones packed. It's been like I don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, moving finally all the way over. Well, I take a second. Thank you again for Lars. So that was fantastic. His North American debut on a podcast over here. Good insight about the guys at BN and ASP, and then a little bit of some past goalies that we've had, and maybe a future goalie we've got going on too. We are here without Mr. Brandon. He's taking care of some family right now. So he was unable to join us tonight, but he will be back here soon. So I was going to try to AI him in here, but I didn't know how that would go in the comments. So I left that away. Just kidding. Much love to all out there. Brandon's probably watching this, shaking his head.
It's his own fault. He left us unsupervised. Yeah,
he left the kids unsupervised. So, but yeah, good to have Lars. That was kind of a sneaky invite that we had there for him. Brandon got connected with him and got him on. So happy, and I was surprised he came out at 1 o'clock in the morning his time. But definitely, I know this summer we've got some guys that are coming on, some other features, people that are going to give us some insight on the college side, like Chris that's coming up. We've got Elaine here with us now, who is fully transitioned, fully changed team affiliation now, right?
Yeah.
Cleveland traded you for future considerations, is that correct?
I don't think they wanted to trade me. It was more like I said bye. Yeah, so I'm full,
God,
and I'm not even touching base on them next season, which is going to be wild. But I'm full Grand Rapids. It's the first time I've been full only one team since the pandemic season, so it's going to be probably less stressful. Although, if this team keeps playing the way they do on the power play, maybe it won't be less stressful.
I don't think that will last much longer with ASB getting comfortable.
Yeah, he's so good on the power play already.
So good.
Well, it helps when you have an elite skater like he can make his own space just by skating. So that's a thing that when you're running a power play, you can really do to just kind of level things out and make things kind of just flow a little bit better. I know you guys have wanted movement all year. You watch what Toledo does, and it's a lot of movement, a lot of guys moving around. And when you have a talent like this, and it's kind of like we were talking with Lars, you kind of have to enjoy it while it's here because you don't know how long it is going to be here. So,
yeah, I would think, and I don't know, I've said enough hot takes in the past 24 hours that have made so many people in Detroit and Grand Rapids hate me. So maybe I shouldn't say this hot take, but
go on. Floor is yours.
If he keeps doing well on the power play, he just like explodes next season. I don't think he'll be here the whole season.
I don't think so either. That's what Lars and I last night, like when these prospects come in, even last year, like with Marco and Mazer, like I was really looking for them to stand above them, like be head and shoulders above. Like you could really see their difference on the ice, and those guys play a different style, so it's hard to see that, especially when they're on a line with Jonathan Berggren, who's just sniping every puck into the back of the net. So you kind of see that, and then you're like, last night you saw ASP, and you saw he's head and shoulders like above the rest of the team. Like you could just tell how much space he is given, I guess.
I think that confidence from being in playoffs and coming straight to here, I think that helps as well.
I just want to preface it too with like, it's fun to be excited, but let's not put all the pressure in the world on this kid. Like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like at the same time, he is still a very young player. So like, I get the excitement, I get the hype, but at the same time, it's kind of like you gotta be like, okay, like if there's nights where Nick, you shaking your head, let me be happy for once.
I'm just
saying, like, you have to go into it with an open mind, not just he's gonna come in here, put up, these insane numbers. Like I'm just pressing this with like
he put a -2 up last night. I don't know if anybody else saw that comment.
But
or if you're blocked as well.
I'm blocked, so I can't see those. That's how little people in Detroit like it when I talk back. People sass me, I sass them back, and they're like, "All right, you're an awful person, block." And I'm like, "Okay." I think I have no followers by like the middle of next season.
I haven't been this happy or excited all season, Travis. Like, just let me have this,
You can, but I'm just telling you, like, don't come in here and like make this kid like, expect the second coming of Christ here. Like,
well, it is Easter tomorrow.
I'm just saying, like, let's have be excited. I'm excited he's here too, but at the same time, like, you gotta understand, like, he's still a very young player. He's transitioning to North America. There's gonna probably be some growing pains along the way at some point. So,
and the off season is coming up. So that's also going to throw a wrench.
Yeah, so it's
which means he's only going to get better. Which means he's going to just knock down this door in Detroit.
Oh my god!
Second pairing with Elber Johansson. Like, it's just the cards are right there, guys.
No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah.
Gosh.
Wait till I interview him post game of the playoffs. So, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'm approaching it with a lot of excitement, but a lot of just like, keep in mind he's a very young player still.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna make mistakes, and that's just part of the game, Elaine, were you able to? Like, I apologize, I have not been able to watch the first period at all.
I watched the first period. Yeah, they definitely started like they drove to Des Moines last night. Like they definitely look like they did, which they did. They just their neutral zone play has been really sketchy lately, which is not good. You want to, that's where you kind of want to like thrive in there. You want to be able to get out. But the passing was so weird. Like there was multiple, takeaways because they passed to the other team, one of which resulted in that goal.
Yeah.
But also I noticed this like a month ago, and I really noticed it against Texas because this is where Texas excels, is they keep their sticks down and it never goes above here, like ever. And this team and Cleveland, they just like
willy-nilly with their sticks.
Yeah. And they don't, Cleveland's really bad about waving them high in the air, but like they don't have a lot of control, and they keep them low, but they like swing them around. And that's how they're taking like these slashing penalties, these tripping penalties, these, or they're just like creating chaos for themselves, because if you can't control the stick when the puck comes, you're not ready. So it's been something they've definitely struggled with during the first part of this game and last night. And they just keep letting people get too close to Jack. And I know that they are missing some people on defense.
Yeah, Anton is usually really good about that, is clearing the crease for the goalies. I would love to see more of that. You've got Didier in there tonight, so that's kind of his job. But I think everybody needs to kind of pick up on that and do a better job of helping your goalies,
Yeah, and the thing is like, at least now the children know they cannot leave the bench. Like, I wish I was there to see what the situation was. Like, were coaches nearby? Could someone have like grabbed them? Where were they? Were they like getting off and then, or like were they already on and then jump? Like, I don't know the whole situation because the camera didn't catch it.
Show.
So much was going on.
So I have not been in Rockford. Have you been in the arena?
Me? No.
Yeah. So it looks like, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, that it looks to me, based off the camera angle, is you exit off of the ice in that corner, and I think those kids were thinking that this was over, the play had been done and finished, and like I don't think they were going out
because they got involved in it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get involved in it.
I didn't see that they were involved in it. I saw that they got close, and then I just saw the rest. I was trying to clip at the same time, so for me, I was like catching some of it, and I had 3 screens going at once last night to try to get everything on as fast as I could. So I thought maybe that was my thinking of they were going off, they were trying to get off the ice. And then maybe they got chirped at, and then they got brought into it. I don't know. It's going to be a question for us to tactfully ask around the organization when we're back.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because when we're back is playoff, at that point, it doesn't matter. Like, we could ask that, but it's like...
I'm always curious. You know that.
Yeah, it's not good timing. Like, I wish I had been there last night in Rockford because I would have had so many questions. Like the
credit to the kids, though.
What'd you say?
Like, credit to the kids. Like, no fear. Like,
to
hell with it. I'm just gonna jump in here.
Right? I love it. And then Sheldon tries. He tried to fight.
Camasso.
He tried to fight a goaltender. I was bummed that there was no goalie fight, but I mean, Coach had already been. He shouldn't have finished that game. Let's be really honest. He should have not come back for the third.
We should it just killed. We should have went down there. We should have went down there last night to watch this to unfold and ask all the questions we could.
I was off. We should have just.
I would have had to call in Friday, and then I was like, I don't know if I would have the energy to go into work today, even though it's like a shorter hours today for me. I only work till 2 p.m. So I'm like, I can't really risk not being there. So yeah, it was
We wouldn't have
tough.
had much time anyways because they literally had to like load up and go.
Yeah. I need to say this before I forget. So I do have a giveaway for tonight. If anybody has not subscribed to us on the YouTube channel, go on and do that for us. I have a Jurassic Park Grand Rapids jersey styled
in
behind
the background
by Phil. So if you have not gotten one, go ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and repost the clip or repost the link of the live stream. That will enter you in to get that. That will be announced I'll probably announce it at the end of this game or a little after, just kind of tallying up the votes and then putting everybody into the raffle. So that would be, yeah, that's a little. We've got a couple extra ones as well, so we'll give them out throughout the season, or throughout the off season. But go ahead, subscribe down below if you're watching us on YouTube. Yeah, Lars, you're definitely eligible to win. Of course you are. You got to pay for shipping though. The shipping to Sweden is probably pretty expensive. We had to ship one to Texas, and I think it was like $20. So we've got there's another one floating. I don't know if that got to that person yet or not. So that's for sure. Or maybe I use it. Maybe I bring it with me, Lars. Maybe I bring it to Sweden when we get to a game. So maybe I'll just hitch up there with it. So it might be cheaper to just fly over there, go to a game, and instead of shipping it over to you. So
I want to say like last night. Like between the chaos that was ensuing in Toledo at the end of that game, with them scoring like I want to say it was 2 or 3 goals late in the game, and when I was downstairs, like there was so many people down. There's like honestly, there's probably about double the people, if not triple the amount of people that are down there right now for the playoffs versus all season. And I'm in between interviews, and I like open Twitter, and all I see is like a basic line brawl. And I thought it was the end of the game. Like I didn't realize that there was a whole nother period.
Yeah. I tried to upload the full I wanted to get this because
I have the full thing. If anyone wants to see it,
Yeah.
it's on my Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. It's everywhere. Blue sky, threads everywhere. Put it everywhere.
Yeah, you can follow us anywhere. You follow Lane everywhere as well. Because I wanted to get the shot of Nygaard shooting because it was a good opportunity right there at the end of the period, and so I wanted that, and then it was literally like 2.5 minutes of chaos, and Twitter would only let me do 2 minutes, and I had the first 30 seconds I think is what I put up there. So, and Blue Skies is a little tougher. You can only get a minute until you have to start chopping it and putting it in.
3 minutes, but the size of it is it's had tough to play around with the size to get in there. But they're all in there. Do you think that they fought and were upset because he stopped MBN? I have no clue what started that.
Playing each other 20 times in the last 10 days is probably about the equivalent as to why that happened.
7 times in a month. Yeah.
It's funny because I've been trying to take better notes throughout the games now, especially covering as many teams as we are. And I'm looking at the notes today of the last 2 games because I've done Wednesday's game for Griffins, Thursday Toledo for their playoff game, Friday for I had to cover Toledo and Grand Rapids at the same time, and I'm just reading the notes. I'm like, wow, we have a lot to talk about on the next episode, and it's actually there was a lot of events that have happened in the last 3 games, and this brawl is it kind of reminds me of last season versus Rockford. It was a very physical matchup. It was a very tough matchup. It was a lot of violence. People love violence, and so it's it just kind of flat. While I'm watching this game last night, it just kind of took me back to that, and maybe I know we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs, and it's probably going to be the matchup that we end up having. I feel based off of the current situation with us being one.
A really good penalty kill that was a little scary because Sheldon Dries didn't have a stick for most of it, and then they went almost directly into a power play that is the goaltender's just been too on. So Who is the goaltender tonight for them?
For
It's not
Iowa,
Wallstead.
Yeah.
it's not Wilson. It is Samuel. I don't even want to try to pronounce
I
the
don't
name.
Yeah, me neither.
Maybe if Lars was still out, he could.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's not their regular. Seeger is just scratched tonight. He played last night. I didn't see him go down with an injury last night. I think he's just scratched tonight,
That's
Lars. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just looked at the shot count, 20-10. This is where Grand Rapids is killing me this season. Like the amount of times that they're outshot, and I know it was the same way in Detroit, right? This season?
Well, the beginning of the year, yeah, until they got rid of Lalone, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They were a lot better at outshooting teams after Derek left.
I felt like they weren't better at scoring after.
No, but if you can get pucks on meaningful shots. I mean, I also don't like it when Grand Rapids has a lot of shots, but they're all like registered shots, but they're all like straight into the glove. And I'm like, okay. Or like straight into the chest. And I'm like, shots are shots, I guess.
Making the goalie play the position, at least. That's the biggest thing.
I'll be right back, everybody.
Nick just peace out on us.
Yep. He's like, I'm out. Bye.
He was like, I just seen enough of the 20-10 shots.
What a guy.
Right now, they're making hamburgers in the stands to see if the
I
fans
see
are.
it. Yeah. I have 3 games going right now.
Who else are you watching?
I have the Griffins on my phone so I can clip. I have the Blues game on my iPad, and then I have the Kansas City Tulsa game on my computer in the ECHL.
That's a lot. I mean, I guess it's not a lot. I know Tyler watches like 50 million games at one time. So.
Well, I will say I had 2 other games going, but it was too much. Too much for I just don't think my computer could keep up. But I need to get the TV hung above my computer, and then I could add another screen. That'd be huge. But yeah, it's interesting, right? With the Griffins, like you just want them to get the point. Like you don't really care how they get it. Ideally they're off next week, right? Like you don't want them to have to go play a 3-game series, which in and of itself is stupid.
Sorry.
To get a spotlight there briefly.
Elaine.
Yeah, I have so many thoughts about the playoffs. It's fine. Yes, I ideally would like them to get one point. It doesn't matter how they get it. I mean, 2 would be better because it would be a win, and Nick won't be upset. Our group chat will be just fine. Rinaldi will live to see another day.
Should have had him check in from whatever airport he's at.
Is he on his way back yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I need to announce another giveaway that we have. I think this was Brandon's gonna be like, "What are you doing, Nick?" All right, so
fault. He left Nick unsupervised. They're in charge of the giveaways. I'm here.
He's probably not even watching, so it's fine. He won't even know.
Yeah, he won't even know. Nobody tell him. All right, and it's not like this is recorded. He'll go back and watch later. He'll be like, "What are we doing?"
Whatever happens on the live stream stays in the live stream.
Yeah, just for everybody that's watching. So this giveaway, this is a special giveaway. I'm going to try. I can't guarantee anything here, but I think once we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, I think we're going to do a giveaway for a dog, Brad the Dog Thompson, Chia Pet, and I'm going to see if I can get it signed by our friend Dog. So I think that's anybody that has subscribed already will be entered to win. We'll run this one probably throughout till we get up to 500. We're only at, I think, what are we at, Trav? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Maybe somebody will tell us in the chat. But Yeah, that's a good giveaway, and we might wrap it with some other things as well. So for that 500th one, oh, we're at 405.
Lars is keeping us up to date here.
Ooh, I thought he was gonna go to bed, to be honest.
No, he's got to watch the end of this
I'm-
Winnipeg game.
I'm glad he's with us still.
What's up, Lars?
He brings up an interesting point here, though. Like with Seager only being 3 points behind Becker, has Seager overperformed or has Becker underperformed?
What if it's both?
I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest.
No, I mean, I'm not. No, yeah, I'm not trying to make a joke. Like literally, like I think it's both.
I think you're right. Becker has been injured as well. He did.
Yeah.
He was coming off an injury, so that's part of it, too.
Yeah.
Chris. No, I was not about to give away a dog.
I
Chris-
wish we were giving away a dog. I
Chris will
would-
Confirm neither Hank or Gordy are available.
Yeah, and Hank's on the IR. He's done. Yeah, yeah. Oh man. So back to Lars's question. So Becker was on. He didn't start until like mid-November. December. He was with the team, but he was out. He was injured, and then he was out again for a couple more games, being injured as well. They don't really tell us injuries, what's going on. Just like Ruklowski just took a picture of himself in a hospital gown in the hospital and saying he'll be back soon.
That's how it is in the AHL.
That's
how you find stuff out. You follow the players on Instagram, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's why I haven't seen you walking around the hallways because you just had surgery. All right, good to know. Don't ask for them for an interview.
He was with the team a few games back. He was down in the locker room talking with Horkoff. I did see them, so I believe it. Maybe I thought I saw him. So good. So you're running the stats, 58 to 59. So I don't know. It's tough to say on this one. I don't want to answer. Maybe I don't want to answer.
Just embrace your answer, even if it's crazy.
I think it's a little bit more Seager myself, and I say that just because, like, I believe Seager was a Hobie Baker finalist at one point in college. So in college, like you're playing a lot of older players. You're not playing pro, but a lot of guys are older in college, and like where Becker with Becker, he's coming from junior, so it's a big change, right? And
he could have went back this year too, as an overager.
Right, and you take into the consideration that it's like, okay, he wasn't he was a third round pick, I believe. So again, you can't expect the world in his first pro season, but he's shown flashes. I think it's just more like going into next year, finding that consistency. And then for the Griffins, like with Seager, you've found a guy that you can keep on an AHL contract that you signed out of college. So anytime you can do that, I think that's a win.
I think too, like the jump from juniors to the AHL is so much, and you saw that last year with Amadeus. You see it a little bit this year with Nate. You see it with Becker. I couldn't remember who I was talking to about this the other day, and it's just like these guys just need a little bit of time. Like they need that transition period, and maybe like other organizations are using their ECHL team. I don't know about Cleveland, but using their.
I don't have one.
I know.
don't have one,
That's my joke. We talked about this the other day, but I think those players maybe starting at Toledo and getting that call up right away, like when there is an injury, when there's a spot that needs to be filled, and moving into that route. I don't know. I mean, you probably call me crazy that route as well, but.
No, because just to add on to your thought here, like personally, like I think Seager should have got 5, Ryklowski should have got 5, Johannes should have got 5, Bale should have got 5, and to be honest, I think you could have made an argument that I don't think it was technically allowed because I think it was either NHL or junior form, but like if they could have put Finney there, I feel like Finney playing pro games in Toledo could have also benefited him. But he also had a great year in junior, so you can't really You can't think too much about that one. But just getting more guys eligible and, like you said, Nick, kind of starting down here.
Yep.
Use this as like a feeder system for the Griffins, is like to get your feet wet.
Yeah, but you're not going to put Nate Danielson in Toledo.
Well, that's a different argument. Like,
That is
Like,
fun,
I'm waiting for that argument to come on, and I'm like, okay,
No.
I'm not going to put.
Okay,
no,
wait.
that's
Yeah, I
That's
mean, like,
silly.
but if the Griffins, if they had a bad season and the NHL was also not in it, I mean, you could be like, hey, we're gonna send you there for like 5 games in case you still want to play when the playoffs come around. You know, give it to him as an option, not something that they actually do, but discuss it with him, see what he wants.
like
I could see that working.
that's why I've told you both. Like, Hunter should have came down and played on
Yes.
that Sunday and been eligible, because if GR does get an early exit, which we hope doesn't happen, and say Toledo's into the second round, okay, now all of a sudden you could be adding guys to play even more games that they're only going to benefit from playing in playoff games. And I mean, Nick, you've seen what it's like down here in the playoffs. There's no better experience for these guys to play in big games than down here if they're not going to be playing in the American League.
Toledo's a wagon, but you're not. But I do want to correct one thing right here. Is Hunter came from college last year.
Correct.
He didn't come from junior, so like, I know how much you wanted if you down in Toledo this year to go on the playoff run, but I don't know if that. I think the college route, and I think you'll maybe see more of this, is the college guys are going to go more to the A, and I think maybe the junior guys, if they're not a top draft pick, they're going to they should go to the E.
Well, it depends. I think it really depends on the player, because like they've added, feels like half a dozen guys out of college. You've got Moulton, you've got Ambrosio, these are college guys signing ECHL deals. It's a lot different. Like, your higher end guys are gonna probably go to the AHL, or guys that have been drafted are probably more likely to go to the AHL.
Right? They
What?
should be signing ATOs with their AHL team, maybe a
Right.
team nearby, but
Don't start it, Lane.
Yeah,
Okay, wait, hold on. So this game,
you're gonna make me mad.
First of all, the goaltender's name, I just looked it up. It's Samuel Halavai. This man has been robbing the Griffins this period. This man has been like,
We did up the shots. We're at 17 to 20.
Offensive, wheels going, and this man is like, sorry guys, I just want to destroy your dreams. Also, I was trying to figure out, why haven't I seen him play yet? This is the first time he's played against the Griffins all season. He's played in 36 games. This is game 37, the first time he's played against the Griffins.
Well, it seems like they always want the Koso-Wallstead
I think so.
rivalry to keep going. Or if you call it a rivalry, but comparison, I guess.
That's funny. That's just.
So this man he's refusing to give up the ship.
Chicago's up 1-0 with 12 minutes left in the first. So
I can't do the playing around. I don't think that I think that if they had the week off, they would make it out of that round. The play-in round,
against Rockford.
Especially since they don't have they allegedly don't have home ice advantage, which I'll be talking about that for like 30 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I brought that up in the last section. This is my theory on it. You shouldn't be going. There shouldn't be travel in a 3-game series.
Yeah, I agree. I heard you say that.
Give it to the higher seed, just like baseball does. If you can go in there on the road and win 2 games, all the credit to you. I think travel in a 3-game series is just stupid.
Right. And it should. I think there's different ways you can do it. It can be 1-1-1. I think it can be 2-1. It can be 1-2. But the fact that the Griffins allegedly, like, I haven't gotten confirmation, obviously,
Right.
but are gonna only have 1 game in Van Andel, and based on the schedule, that doesn't jive. That doesn't fit.
So my source is not giving up. It was Elaine who told me this. I spoke about it in the last period of that. So, yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I would be so mad if I was Dan Watson and having to go on the road against
I'd be mad if I was
Rockford.
if I was the Griffins, like just in general.
Yeah.
That's money. That's money that you're now not letting them have. Oh wow, sorry, I'm really.
I'll let Dan DeVos know when I see him next. You laugh, but I do. Yeah.
So since we mentioned that they hadn't put any shots on net, they had 8 shots. Like you came back from your little break and like they had 8 shots, all of which were good shots. And Samuel Halavai, I think that's how you say it. Halavai.
Lars put it in the comments. Hala Vashush. I don't know if you can see that.
I can't.
On the right side. Maybe it's just me and Travis have access to that.
Travis.
That's
yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, wait, hold on. I can see it now. Okay. Okay.
Josh. He's gonna.
I'm looking at it and
it.
Oh! Lars, if you're still here, I have one quick question before I forget because my ADD is so bad. When the guys are over, MBN and ASP, when they're over with their club teams in Sweden, do they get paid? No, you're not invisible. I see it.
By the NHL?
No, by the Sweden teams. So they're going to school and getting paid, or are they just over there? Because this is it'll go into our next segment with Chris from Smart Shadows about the NIL. Maybe he's typing, maybe he's not. Maybe he walked away. But if he could give us, and if not, then maybe I'll remember when we have him on the pod.
Do the Wild do fire for their pregame too? I just saw this in this little get your tickets today thing. And I saw fire. Why do teams, okay, I'll give it to the Wolves because it's been like forever and they've done this. But what is this obsession with hockey teams putting fire on their ice?
What's the problem?
Well, for one, ice quality, that's the problem.
It was
Blake
fine
does
in
it.
Toledo last night.
Really? Oh, did Spency play last night? I didn't get a chance to
Nope. He didn't.
That's fine. That means I can actually hate Indy while they're playing each other.
Lars does say that they don't get paid. They get paid. Rookie contracts pay very little, but they are on an 8-team contract. So, yeah, that's interesting to know. Elaine, anything you want to add here? I got another guest up too. So sorry, we lined them up this time. Everybody wanted to come on.
I love it though. I didn't have to carry everything. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't have to carry.
It's hard to follow up Lars too.
Yeah, it is. He was very insightful.
I thought that said 50,000 a month. 5,000. Sorry.
That's a little over $1,000 a week.
Okay, but so this team tonight, the second period looked a lot better than the first, especially the last half of the second. So maybe they're finally waking up, and maybe the third period will be exponentially better, and they will win. Or maybe they will go into overtime, which would be nice as well. So hopefully the third is better.
That's all we need. Like the good news here is the Griffins have been traditionally bad at keeping a lead.
Yes.
Right?
But they're good at catching the
They're good at catching the lead. So it might be in our favor.
They're very similar. This season has been wild for me because they're
literally wild.
Similar to Cleveland. There have been so many parallels. It's been insane. Like I'll be covering a game or writing something and be like, wait a second. I feel like I'm asking coaches the same questions about the same exact scenarios, just with different names.
Did Cleveland finally get into the playoffs?
Yeah, last night.
They're gonna actually look really scary with Jack Greaves coming back.
I know, and I'm gonna miss it all. Yes.
It's okay. You'll see him in the finals
8
against us
for a magical run, and I fear that it will be this season because I decided to stop covering.
They're gonna be like, "Thank God she's gone. We can go win a
We can watch.
No pressure.
I'm sure they'll figure out a way to get you back in there if they go on a magical run.
I
But
mean, they opened the door for that, but I just don't have the funds to go down there, and I don't have the time right now because I still haven't even unpacked. I've unpacked one box, and you saw how many boxes.
yeah, I helped.
Yeah, and this bed right here, Nick put together with Maria and I.
If they did get to the finals, I will say, like, y'all can crash at my house. My couch can sleep too, and I have a bed, an extra bed. So
as long as Gordy's there.
Gordy will be here.
Actually,
everybody can crash at our house, and we can all go to Cleveland.
Let's do it. Okay, tell your wife I said hi. I miss her.
I will let her know when I get back upstairs.
Okay.
Thanks, Elaine, for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome.
Excited to see you first round of playoffs over here at GR.
I know.
Hopefully the home game's on a weekend that Toledo's maybe on the road or not playing because
It won't be. I mean, it'll probably be in the middle of the week because the playoffs start literally Monday.
Or a Friday. Could take a Friday. That'd be great. I don't work Fridays.
According to the schedule that we saw on Rockford's site, that they're having Friday, Saturday at their barn, which means that Van Nandel would be in the middle of this week.
It's a Wednesday game.
It's so stupid.
It is stupid. I have thoughts. I have lots of them, and I'm trying really hard not to swear because I work for a church now. So I'm going to keep those in. Yes. All right. You guys have fun. Thanks for having me on. Have me on again some other time and we can.
We'll do for sure.
Breeze. Give Brandon a 5-hour episode to edit. Okay.
Thanks for joining, Elaine.
Thanks. Wait, I don't know how to leave. Oh, there it is. Just kidding.
Love you. Bye. Bye. That's how I do it. Always good to have her on. She's still going to be in the chat. She'll be posting questions. Our next guest, he's not. He's joining here soon. But Travis, so you don't. I kind of sprung this guy on you. You don't know much about it, but we have Chris Norman coming on from Spartan Shadows, and he runs the Michigan State podcast. They are media credentialed. He's got him and a couple other guys, and they're covering football, basketball, hockey. I went to school with Chris back in the day, back in high school. Good hockey buddy of mine, and he's going to give us some insight on. Sorry, I was reading the comments as well. He's going to give us some insight on some of the Michigan State players. So, like Nicholas Andrews, your guy down there in Toledo, Trey Augustine, and also Red Savage. And then anybody else that comes to mind from Michigan State, he's going to give us some insight on. But hopefully everybody gives his show a follow over there as well if you're a Sparty fan. I was able to sneak him on this episode because Brandon's away.
Jesus.
So, but it's been a long time coming to be able to get him on because I wanted him on last summer, and then we kind of ran off with the Toledo Storm series, which was good. So this summer, we haven't really sat down yet, the three of us, you, me, and Brandon, and figured out what we are going to be doing for the summer for content. So if anybody has ideas?
Well, I know there's a couple. We were talking about. We were kind of talking about it the other day when he was down here. We just casually kind of threw a couple ideas out there. I was like, well, I said you may not want to do a whole season of the Storm. I said, but there are a few more guys that definitely could come on. And then had a couple.
Should we leak those?
No, because I haven't actually made contact yet, but.
Oh, come on, Friedman. I thought you'd already lined these up, ready to go.
There's a couple, I'll if there's any walleye fans watching this, there's a couple former walleye players that have formally agreed to come on the show. So I'll leave that at that.
Speaking of, since we're kind of on a crossover, right? Toledo Walleye and Grand Rapids. Any update on Mr. Tyler Spezia?
Well, I mean, you weren't on the show that we recorded the other day.
Wow. Sorry to sound like Hawkins. Wow.
Sorry, buddy. No, Mark put out the other day before the playoffs that they were talking about Game 3, potentially is what his tweet had said.
They're up 2-0 in their series.
Yeah, I don't think they'll rush him back though. Like if they keep, I don't think he'll play game 3 at this point. Like just let him keep resting. Like let him make sure he's 100% when he comes back. I think the only way we'd maybe really see him is like if they get into a point where it's tied or they're facing elimination in round 1 with where they're at now. Like because they have got out to a lead. That's the only way I think that would happen myself.
Guy's a beaut.
There might have to be a roster change. They might have to go 11-7 on Monday because Pilon left last night's game. So. Oh
no.
Yeah.
That guy was a wrecking ball game 1. I was like, dude, honestly, with my schedule and how chaos everything's been, it's been tough to get as many walleye games as I can. But, that guy, just a wrecking ball. Well, now we're joined by Mr. Chris Norman. I don't know if you've been watching throughout. I gave you a little bit of an introduction, but go on and introduce yourself.
A little bit. What's up, fellas? How are you guys doing?
Good. Well, I mean, we're down 1-0, and
Nick's
Chicago's up 1-0, so that's not good.
Yeah, not great, I guess, standing or scoreboard watching wise, but
yeah.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, long time coming. Like I said, we're gonna do an episode with you in the off season for sure. For anybody, we got about 267 on here now, but the off season will kind of go a little bit more in depth. And plus, I'm sure Brandon, I know as much as he's not a Sparty lover, he'll still have some questions for you as well.
Brandon just misses me. It's okay. We're good.
I think that episode too, he still owes me because we had a bet last year on Michigan State and he lost. So I think that episode I get him to wear the Michigan State jersey that I bought. So I think or some Michigan State apparel. So that'll be a fun one.
Hey, if we plan it in advance enough, we can get him a 21 Savage jersey, and I'm sure he'd probably enjoy that.
Yeah, that might be the way to be able to get him to do it. I've got to ask I'm wondering if he comes out next year, if he's able to get it from Joe Snively. Because Snively's currently wearing that jersey, and he's signed for another year. So I keep forgetting to ask Joe when I see him. But we were talking a little.
Oh, what a play! Sorry.
You're
sorry. The Jets just took the lead with a minute and a half left.
Good for them. I'm rooting for the Jets in that series.
Yeah,
Kyle Connor of all people.
I like Kyle Connor and Connor Hellebuck, so I gotta kind of root for the Jets at least for a little bit.
Well, we were just talking a little bit of Toledo Walleye. They're up 2-0 in their series, and we had a bit. I don't know if it's a big addition, but we had Mr. Nicholas Andrews just joined the team, who signed with the Griffins. How did that work, Travis? He was signed by.
Signed by the Griffins, I thought, right?
Yeah,
he is signed by the Griffins, but he was a PTO with Toledo first, right?
The contract stuff, I'm not down here. It's a little chaotic.
I think it was something like
it's always chaotic.
Signed to some tryout either with Grand Rapids or Toledo, and then he ended up being sent to Toledo.
Yeah, signed Toledo, then signed to GGR, then assigned back to Toledo. Well, what can you tell us? You guys just went on a little bit of a disappointing run at Michigan State, first round exit, with the last 3 seconds, right?
The regular season and conference tournament were fun.
Yeah, that was a blast. Just disappointing way that it did. But
yeah.
What can you tell us? Let's start with Andrews first. Let's start there. What can you tell us about this guy in general? Yeah.
Yeah, Nick, it was someone, he wasn't here long, but I enjoyed having him here. At times throughout the season, I thought he was our most consistent defensive defenseman. The blue line wasn't exactly the strong suit of this team this past year. Not saying they were terrible, but they had their moments. So, he's a little bit of an older player, grad transfer from Colorado College. He had a good career there and solid USHL career. And then he came over and really was kind of what we needed. We lost a couple of solid defensemen from the year before, and Artie and some other players. So we needed to really fill a void on the blue line, and Nick served that pretty well. He led the team in plus minus. He led the team in block shots. Was really consistent. Made pretty much the play you always wanted him to make. You weren't really worried about him taking the puck out of the zone or handling it and fretting. So he makes the smart play. He just a solid all around defenseman. And good kid too. So
I was thinking about this the other day because I think Booyah posted this. He just shared on his Instagram a post about one of his friends had like the most blocked shots in the NCAA for last season, and maybe it was one of the players. Maybe it wasn't Shy, but I feel like that's kind of missing with our team down here in GR. So when you say this guy led the team, like that's exciting to see. And I don't know if it's just like a style like the goalies don't want that, or the goalie coaches don't want that because it causes deflections, or what. But
yeah, he didn't have a ton of. I mean, that's kind of I think something maybe with MSU and maybe with Trey specifically. Trey's always been one to be like, if I can see the puck and if I can square up the puck, it's mine. I'd rather not people getting in front of me, or I can make the save, take the pass, take the other guy. But Nick he's one to get right in, try to make a play. He's good on the back check, all that. So I don't know what exactly the jump to the pro level is gonna. I don't know if there's going to be a learning curve for him or not, but I think once he gets comfortable, he should be a pretty solid defender. I don't know if we're ever going to talk like eventually on the Detroit blue line, but for Toledo and Grand Rapids, I think he'll be a decent defenseman to carry back there.
So I'm hearing you say he's the next Danny DeKaiser?
Yeah, next Nicholas Lindstrom. They share the name. Might as well be the next
Travis right away. I may be wrong here, but I think he was our last college defender to go to the NHL. Is that correct? Right? Is Danny DeKaiser? Because he came from Western.
Yeah, he signed right out of Western, I think. So, Broncos.
Go Broncos. We got F50 Alex posted that. That's friend of the show. But
I will say with where they have him playing right now, I think it fits him really well with what you've said. They have him playing with Matt Anderson, who's a little bit maybe more offensively. I wouldn't say he's an offensive defenseman, but he's very good. He's a very good defenseman. He's two-way, skates like the wind. He's probably the fastest guy on the team. So he can jump up into the play, and having a guy like Andrews to kind of offset that as your stay-at-home guy on that pair really kind of will give Matt the opportunity to kind of jump up into the play. So that's a nice piece of information.
I feel like if the Red Wings had somebody similar to him to help offset Sherratt when he doesn't play with Sider, that would be probably perfect. Obviously, the skill gap's a little bit different, but yeah, it's. I think you'll really get liking him once he's acclimated to the game. He's a solid defender. So
was he a captain?
I don't believe so. No, I can look that up. Hang on, but I think he did not get one. I know. Had he for some reason had another year of eligibility, I think he maybe would have got a letter this year. But yeah.
Typically, they're signing guys that were captains of their team in college, or just captains in junior as well. So, but I thought maybe he was with his college team before MSU.
Colorado College, I think he was at some point. He spent 4 years there, and really. I think his last year at Colorado College, his senior year, he was a finalist for the NCHC Defenseman of the Year. All academic team every time. He added some points for us too. I think he had 18 points for us last year, so which I believe was his career best, if I'm not mistaken. So in the game against the game at Wrigley, actually, he assisted on the game-winning goal in overtime. So yeah, he just makes smart plays. That's the best way to describe him. Even in the offensive zone, I don't want to. I've been talking up his defensive game. It's not like he's offensive inept. He can make the smart plays and passes too. So
it'll be interesting to see if he does get that time up here in GR. I'm hoping that he does, to be honest. I don't know, maybe a third line pairing with some departures. I know that I think Wallander, 2-0, you got Booyah, maybe, and we talked with Lars a little bit about ASP.
yeah,
maybe not. And then Johannes Anton will be here, hopefully, as well. So it kind of leaves that third pairing kind of open, and maybe he slots there in case of injuries or just kind of rotating. And Coach Watson loves to have defensemen. I mean, I think we had 9 at some point this season. So
yeah. Well, I mean, even if it's not next year, within the next few years, Shai will be up, ASP will be up. So at some point, you're going to have to replace some blue line players in Grand Rapids.
For sure. And maybe they just signed this guy to kind of convince Mr. Augustine to come over here, get the little inside scoop, or maybe he sent Nick Andrews here to kind of scout for him.
It didn't work if you wanted to convince for this upcoming season.
Yeah, so can you talk a little bit about that? Because you've got a little bit of on the inside. Because you are credentialed down there. You get a little bit more access than most.
Yeah, the podcast we definitely do. I don't do a ton of the credentialed media. That's my co-host Emmett. He's one to do all that. He's really good about being there for basketball, football, and hockey when he can. So, but yeah, Trey, I'm still surprised he came back for next season, but I'm not complaining. I think we got ourselves a little bit of a last dance scenario down in East Lansing for next season. So, getting Augustine and Isaac Howard back on top of getting Caden Lindstrom to come in as a freshman. We're going to have a team to watch in East Lansing next year. So I'm very excited about that. But Trey, he came out and confirmed it the last couple of days ago. It sounds like Steve Eiserman and the crew in Detroit left it up to him on whether he wanted to turn pro or come back for one more year. And I think the way we exited the NCAA tournament kind of left a sour taste in a lot of players' mouth.
Yeah.
And this team absolutely had the talent to win a national championship this past year. Knowing the kind of recruiting class we have coming in this upcoming year, and then playing into the fact that you get Trey back and him and Isaac Howard are good friends. So I don't know if maybe they had a little ideas turning maybe somewhere, but yeah, it kind of makes sense. Trey says he still has more to accomplish at the college level as far as statistics, and I think just kind of proving himself or to himself that he can be the best goalie in the country. I already think he is, but maybe Jacob Fowler's performance last year left some sour taste in his mouth. I don't know, but I think he wants to win a national championship, and I think he wants to improve his numbers even more, which I don't really know how you can do when you had a 191 goals against average. So, but I'll take it. As an MSU fan, I'm pumped. So.
And Travis, you were down at Toledo. Were you able to catch him during the tournament?
Like talk to him?
No. I just mean like watch him.
Yeah, I was at the game. They got beat. At.
Why, you didn't need to say it like that.
I mean,
That's
I was hoping they'd get to Saturday, but I think the biggest thing, like that night, I don't put 3 of the 4 on him.
Yeah.
Really, I don't. Like the first one was an excellent shot, and it was right in front of me, and there's no way he's seen the shot. Like there were bodies everywhere. The game-winning goal too, like a cross-ice play or shorthanded, like he did everything possible to get over. Like,
mm-hmm. You could see that coming a mile away too. As soon as they hit down low, I was like, no.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, I can understand. It might be different if they get to like, if they get out of that region and get to the Frozen Four, and it's like, okay, we were close, but I think it's just the way that they lost. That's kind of the way that, to lose a game like that. But at the same time, it kind of felt like they just kind of quit playing offense.
Yeah, they coasted for far too much in that third period, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They dominated for 40 minutes of the game, and it's just like, okay, we're good, but didn't work out very well. One of the ones too, I can't remember what goal it was. One of it, like, it either hit a defender and then came back, or it was a weird bounce because Trey was already moving one way, and it stopped, and he had to kind of reposition. And
it was in the other end from where I was sitting.
Yeah, it was a weird. So, but it is. I could spend 2 podcast episodes on thoughts about the NCAA tournament being single elimination and how it's ran, but I'll save kind of the preacher show for that. But it's just, that's what happens. Single elimination hockey is just, it's rough. That's what it is. You get a bad bounce and that could end your season. So,
well, and I think that is kind of what our fear is going into this play-in round with potentially with Rockford. Give a little score update. Chicago's up 2-0 against Rockford, and so. On our end, Chris, I know you don't follow too much on the AAHL side, but we need to get a point in this game. We're down 1-0. There's 14 minutes left in the third. Oh, there was just a crazy play by Mr. Amadeus Lombardi. Let me see if I can grab this.
Attaboy, Ammo.
He did not finish. Oh, but he is getting he just got tripped like 4 times. No penalty?
No penalty, yeah.
What the heck? My TV's on a delay more than on my iPad, so it's hard for me to see. Oh, and he just took down another player. Wow, they're just letting things go in this third period. Oh, finally we got a call. Yeah, so like our fear is we've got home ice advantage, and now they're potentially taking that to Rockford. So you get one weird bounce, something goes the other way, you get home ice advantage as well, and it's obviously, like, we would like the break. We'd like the week off to kind of regroup, get Elmer Soderblom back, and go on a nice little run.
I saw they just reassigned him to Grand Rapids today, so that'll be nice. Like 15, 20 minutes ago, the Griffins.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I was like, I know it was reported by the reporter, but I did not see it reported by the team yet.
Yeah, 18 minutes ago on Twitter, the Red Wings have reassigned Elmer Soderblom to the Griffins. So
hopefully Brandon's watching Twitter and reposting that, because we've been watching the game and follow along with being on the live stream. So less plays from us tonight, and unfortunately not a whole lot of goals either.
Yeah, that's just I love hockey and I love playoff hockey, but the 7-game or even a 5-game series makes what playoff hockey is great. You start to build a little bit of animosity, rivalry. We
don't need that. We've got Rockford 13 times this season.
Well, yeah, you guys don't need that for sure, but that's the problem with the single elimination. You don't really get that in college. I mean,
because a lot of these teams don't play each other during the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, if you run into a conference team, sure, like you get your conference opponents 4-ish times, so that's that. But we didn't play Cornell this year. Our non-conference was Canisius, Boston College, and I can't remember who else. But we always play the NTDP once, and that's about it. We get lost. Did they score?
Yep. We just tied it. I believe it was, I want to say Amadeus, but
I hope so.
Nope. Sheldon Dries. Dominic Shine and Amadeus Lombardi assists. Beautiful. Holy crap, we have ourselves a game now.
I was getting the Elmer post, so now I got to go back here. So, Nick, you can keep Chris.
I'm going to keep everybody occupied
while I work.
This is what I do. What I'm good at. You guys have me filling the hot air. 12 minutes left. Shots are tied. 22-22. Tied 1-1 game. Holy crap, we are back in this. I was starting to get nervous, to be honest. I was starting to get nervous. Do you guys I want to jump real quick. Do you guys have the schedule for next season already? Do you guys know your opponents for college or no?
Not game by game. We know. I know we get beat, but we'll get Boston University in the non-con.
Any Arizona?
I don't think
No.
so.
Trav says no. Trav knows.
I know
There's-
that one. And
They're a scary team. They're going to be a scary team. I need to.
They
we're
come
gonna
to
s-
Western next year.
We're going to that one. That's the one. Just mark it. I don't care if it's opening night of the Griffs. I'm just kidding. I think that's the only one that there's going to be a lot of talk in the offseason, but I think I'll be going to a lot more college games next season. So
Dude, you'll have to come to East Lansing. It's gonna. I'm not kidding. It's gonna be must-see TV.
I went 2 years ago. Me and Maria went to the Michigan State Homestead, and that was a lot of fun. We saw Michigan on Friday at MSU, and then we went to Michigan to watch them play MSU. And
We're home.
we were the home team's colors for both game, and the
Yeah,
home
can't
team
do that.
lost. Home team lost both games.
Of course.
I just don't like Lars said earlier, like we get a little like I didn't know how crazy the atmosphere was going to be in those home arenas, so I was like, let's just dress as the home team and go that route. And I also didn't know where we would be sitting band side. So like last year we went down to the Sioux versus Saginaw for the juniors, and we
Yeah.
sat with the Sioux guys. We didn't know. And it was an interesting experience because Saginaw is very rowdy.
Oh yeah.
It's always it's always an interesting atmosphere, I should say. And the Sioux guys were very drunk, and the cops were right behind us, and we were there neutral. We were there to watch Andrew Gibson, who was still a Red Wing prospect at the time.
At the time.
And we were fortunate that they were playing Saginaw, so we're like, all right, let's go down there. And it got a little out of hand. And my dad if you've met my dad, he's out there egging the guys on, and
Yeah, that doesn't sound like your dad at all.
yeah. And he's just like he's having a good time, and I'm just like, oh man, but.
Yeah, well, and even more so, Michigan seems like the front runner to get Gavin McKenna if he leaves the CHL. So, I mean, you're going to have some games with some premier talent in the Big Ten next year. It's just Minnesota's always stacked. Wisconsin's got a decent class coming in. It's going to be a tough schedule for everybody. So, it'll be fun. I'm excited.
I feel like we have a Wisconsin guy.
I'm trying to think of the rosters.
Why am I blanking on this? This irritates me. I want to give a quick update too. So we are doing. If you missed it earlier, I saw we gained a few followers. If you've subscribed to the YouTube channel, wow, let me restart that. If you subscribed, that's a hard phrase to say. Subscribe. This is where Brandon comes in and edits it out. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel tonight, you are entered into the drawing for. We've got our model Phil in the background wearing the Grand Rapids Jurassic Park jersey.
Very nice jerseys.
Still wrapped, still in the plastic, still crispy fresh. We will be giving away one of those. You've subscribed to those. Share the live stream link on Twitter. You'll be entered in. I will draw after the game. We'll probably sit on here for maybe 10, 15 minutes after, and we'll do that. If we get, Lars said we were at like 402 on YouTube. If we get to 500, which is a number I've been pushing all season, I will give away the Brad Dog Thompson Chia Pet giveaway for his 2000th game that he was at, or that he's participated with the Griffins organization. So I will try and attempt to get that signed by him, but I cannot promise. So
Just for clarification, you're not giving away Hank.
yeah, I'm not giving away a dog. Sorry if you came here for that. I don't have any dogs to give away. Yeah.
Yeah, happens. Yeah, that's still two good giveaways.
Two good giveaways. Well, Dog Thompson won Champette. It's a beaut. It looks so like him, and we've had him on the podcast. Such a great guy. Always giving us crap in post game. So love to do a little giveaway for him and for the rest. I know. I feel like there was something else that we were. Was there anything else we were giving away, Trav? He just looks. What else was I not supposed to do tonight? I think we've done pretty well. You got another guy I want to talk about, actually. Mr. 21 Savage.
Good old Red.
Love the jersey combination. He was a captain. Super disappointed. Just heartbroken that he's not joining the team this year, because I feel like we would love his energy here. Speak on the player that he is, not just the cool jersey number and last name combination there, Chris.
Just a stand-up dude. He's an excellent leader. His presence was really missed down the stretch. He's not the guy that's going to light up the score sheet for you. Though he did have 11 points in like 20 games I think he played this year. So not terrible. He was just under a point per game, but his leadership is the best. And he's got a decent two-way game. And when we won the Big Ten championship, it was cool to see him throw the gear on and be out and skate out and be able to, lift the trophy and be with the guys, because him not being there, I mean, he was with the team and he, was around the rink and practicing or helping the guys at practice and in the locker room, but him not being able to play was a big loss for MSU in the second half of the season. So, but yeah, good kid, great leader. Started his career at Miami, transferred, wanted to be with Nighty and strength coach Will Morlock. He called MSU basically the extension of the U.S. national team development program. Which is what Nightingale has modeled it as. I mean, he spent a lot of time at the NTDP, and Will Morlock was the strength guy there, and add that our assistants in and a boatload of donor money, and we've got the US NTDP on steroids. So he's going to be a player that I think will fit in well, especially at the AHL level. I don't necessarily, again, know what his ceiling will be like as far as getting to the pros. Like, I'd love to see him as a Red Wing, but I just don't know.
You know how many jerseys this kid would sell?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, as a Red Wing.
So I could see him taking on a Joe Veleno type role with the Wings, but it just depends on, roster and what we're
being traded to Chicago.
Yeah, eventually play well for a few years and then trade to Chicago. So
I hope not.
No, but what's going to happen with Red, I don't know. He's still recovering from the surgery and injury, and he graduated. He doesn't have any more eligibility with MSU right now. There are rumors that he may want to try to petition for a fifth year and get a medical red shirt for this last year. I don't know how likely that is. I don't know if the NCAA would grant that, but I guess if they did, he would probably want to come back for one more year and take a run.
Try that again. Sorry, your mic.
Oh, we cut out. Do you hear me?
Yeah, there's a little bit of interference.
You're good. We're good. Okay. So I don't know if the NCAA would grant him another year of eligibility for the medical red shirt. If they did, I would assume he'd want to come back to MSU for one more year and try to win a title. But I guess I don't think that's the most likely scenario. So maybe he signs an ELC this summer. I don't know what Eiserman's plans for him are really too. He's got to be signed, I think, this year. I think this is the last year of his entry level rights. So hopefully we get that update soon, regardless. So.
Yeah, hopefully. It sounds like it's hard to leave MSU based off of the program that Nightingale has created.
Well, yeah, and I got to give a shout out. The Spit and Chicklets boys did a really good thing with Barstool.
Whoa. We don't promote other I'm just kidding.
the Barstool or Chicklets University, they did like a behind the scenes at MSU early in the year. And they profiled it really well with Nightingale coming in and the money we have. Like, The strength program's second to none in college hockey. The facilities are second to none in college hockey. Tom Izzo raves about them and has the basketball team over there using the same facilities sometimes. Recovery, they have sports medicine that's second to none. They have mental and physical trainers and the whole 9 yards, and it's top tier. So nothing against Grand Rapids or anything, but when you can have that level of facilities, make some money on NIL in some cases for players, more than you'd make going pro, and be on a really competitive team and have some of the best strength coaches in the country. Why not stay for another year, and our nutrition staff too is really great. I mean, you literally just show up and they hand you exactly what you're supposed to eat and you have a completely tailored diet program. You don't have to worry about cooking, all that stuff. So
do you think, like, going forward, because of the NIL, like, how much of a change this is going to be for, like, teams like, the AHL, the ECHL, the NHL? Do you think prospects are going to see? Yeah, I mean, you kind of see it with Isaac Howard, like, going back for another year. Do you see this kind of a continuing trend, I guess?
Yeah, especially the top tier guys, I don't know how, and NIL is so secretive, you don't know how much a guy's really going to make, but a guy like Isaac, I would imagine, is going to make roughly about what he had on a pro contract, and that's being a first-round draft pick. That's so. I would say so, yeah. And when the CHL and NCAA hit their agreements, so that Canadian players can play college hockey now without, having to be able to go back and forth and all that. So I think you'll see players sticking around the junior level or the NCAA a little bit longer. It's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds, but I hope it doesn't get to the same. Like, basketball is kind of the opposite end of it now, because you see, I mean, even before the NCAA tournament ended, you had like 30-40% of all players in college basketball. That could be an inflated number, but you had a ton of players in the portal, like over 1,000 guys, and there's just not roster spots for that. So in hockey, it's going to have to be kind of checked a little bit. Thankfully, the NIL numbers aren't like they are for basketball, or teams don't have that kind of budgets. So that will help hopefully keep it balanced. But yeah, I think it will affect. I mean, unless a guy has a pretty quick path to the NHL, why not stay around a little bit longer?
Yeah, we were just talking with, I don't know if you caught our conversation with Lars, he was saying the same thing over there, is like at BN and ASP, like they wanted to stay kind of more home, like with their friends, their family. They're getting paid, just about the same. So for them, it doesn't make sense to shift over to North America. I'm wondering if it now forces, the AHL, the NHL to kind of take a step back and re-look at things, money-wise and facility-wise and all the way around to get, for a better system, and that maybe I should have saved that for the pod that we'll do with you in the summer. But I mean, it just kind of spurs that conversation, right? Like,
yeah. Well, and I think the CHL might be the league the leagues, I guess, that are hurt the most from it, because if you're a guy like Gavin McKenna, why not go to Michigan and make way more than you're going to make in the CHL? Play a year, get drafted, then turn pro, probably play in the NHL next year. Like, why not get that 1 year where you can make almost $1 million in NIL and start getting that money a little bit quicker? I don't know why.
I'll tell you, I don't want to see it just because that makes Brandon happy. And anything where Michigan doesn't get better is always good for the pod.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, I don't want to see it either. But, and with me being right around the corner from the Firebirds, I'd like to see some talent stay in the OHL. Even though the Firebirds haven't been the best as of late, since Ammo's kind of left, they've been a little bit more down. But
yeah,
still going to Saginaw games, getting to watch Michael Misa, it's fun to see that. But I could see more of those level of guys go into the NCAA, because why not? I mean,
right.
If Gavin McKenna ends up in Michigan, we all got to go to a Michigan State game. Like,
yeah, oh, it's
going to be
be
must see TV.
Yeah, Michigan's returning a decent roster already, but adding him in, and then, yeah.
Was he the one that just tried to do the Michigan in the playoff game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So maybe there are signs.
Well, that's why people were sharing that highlight going, he's pulling the Michigan.
Yeah. Oh.
We got a question in the chat.
Oh.
Is Caden Lindstrom coming to from Medicine Hat to MSU?
It's not official, but I'll
Yeah, I'll do that.
It's not saying like insider.
No.
It's been reported by a lot of people that that's the plan. I just
And then you added him to that team. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so we're gonna have Caden Lindstrom coming on a team that was basically the number one team in the country throughout the year this year, and we lost a few players, but we didn't lose a ton. I mean, Carson Dorward and Joey Larson were our forwards that are gone, but our entire first line with Howard and Russell and Strammel are back, and then you're going to have Caden Lindstrom. Shane Vinsagi's back again. He was a freshman for us this year, who will probably get drafted this year fairly highly. Riker Lee from the USHL. He's one of the top scorers in the USHL, and he's coming to MSU next year too. So add Caden into that, and then we got a transfer portal guy named Colin Ralph from St. Cloud. He's a second-round pick of the Blues. He's a big, huge defenseman. So MSU's going to have a lot of talent on the roster. I think as of right now, we're looking at 15 NHL draft picks on our roster next year.
Jeez.
Not counting Caden Lindstrom, who is I think penciling him in would make 15. So, but he is coming off the back injury.
Not the Griffins. Sorry, Nick.
Caden is coming off the back injury. From what I've heard, rehab's going well, but I don't know. I mean, I've been told that he should be good to go for the fall, but we'll see. So, but yes, to answer that, more than likely, yes. It's not been made official yet, but we're the clubhouse leader to say if he leaves.
Interesting. I know. I think somebody just did a profile on him as well if he just goes through the draft, and he might. It's such a risky spot, right? Like you could either go back to prove yourself for a full season, staying healthy, that the back can't hold up, or you risk it all and it doesn't.
Well, and he stayed in Columbus for a lot of this year to work out near the Blue Jackets. I mean, obviously they couldn't run his rehab because he's not signed.
Oh.
But yeah, he's been rehabbing for a while, and most people thought he was going to go to Ohio State because he's made it known he wants to play in the NCAA, and with Columbus being right there, Ohio State was kind of that shoe-in to say, hey, they want to keep him close, they want to keep an eye on him, and then have that. But it came out right when the season ended that maybe he wants to go to MSU instead. So.
Selfishly, just to see him play in BG and not have to travel as far, it would have been fun to see him go to the Buckeyes. But
yeah, that's East Lansing's a little bit more of a hike for you, Trav. I get that.
Yeah, a little bit of a hike.
So, but I mean, hey, the duel in the D is still on for next year. So meet in Detroit for the Michigan State game at Little Caesars.
Yeah, that would be that if everything rumored happens, that would be quite a hell of a matchup.
The Munsters student tickets at MSU sold out in 3 minutes last year. I'm pretty sure they're going to break that record. Like the full season, like all the student tickets were gone in 3 minutes. I think it's going to be less this year. There's a lot of hype, a lot of talent. It's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, you look at the team they had. I mean, right initially, like when they were in Toledo, it was a fun game to watch, and it just sucks that they, like you said, just kind of quit playing offense. What happened, Nick? Because I must be behind you.
We got 2 minutes left. There was just a crazy play, almost a goal scoring opportunity. 2 minutes, still 1-1. Griffins are really pouring it on here, 28-25 in the shots, keep an eye on the defensive end, the defensive zone. I feel bad we didn't clip a whole lot, but we're doing this, and it's usually Brandon's clipping while I'm talking, and and Travis is talking with me too. But man, if this holds up, we're still good. Chicago's up 2-0 still against Rockford, so I hope that game starts getting a little feisty, to be honest with you. But oh man, just 2 minutes left. I hope if Chris, if they lose, you're gonna be bad juju. I'm gonna throw it right at you.
I'd like the record to say, since I've been on, we tied the game.
Yeah,
We were losing before I started.
that's fair. But I just hope it's not in the last 5 seconds.
Yeah, like MSU.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Why you got to do that to him?
He knew what he was signing on for when he came out with me.
Jesus.
That game was cooked as soon as we took that penalty and went on the power or went shorthanded. I knew that game was cooked.
Dude, I was so disappointed. Between that game and the Wings losing to Montreal the way they did, those were the 2 biggest heartbreaks for me for the season. I think those were the 2 biggest heartbreaks of the season for me, and they weren't even involving the Griffins.
Right.
Hopefully, we don't have that. Randy, you definitely do need to get to a Firebirds game sometime. I'll tell you this. In the system for the Firebirds is Amadeus' younger brother. He didn't play this year, but he will be there, I believe, next year. Ulysses, correct?
Yes.
And Amo said the year of his draft, he actually had broke his leg. So he was kind of because we had Amo on the pod, so you can go back to check that episode out. But he had said that he was kind of fell in the draft because of that, and he's really out there to prove it. And I'm excited to see maybe next year I can get out to Flint more, because I was only able to get out to 1 game this year.
Talk about some bad luck for the Lombardi family in draft years. Amo had to go through the COVID stuff. His brother breaks his leg in the draft year, but I'm excited to see him play in Flint, though. He's Firebirds games are always fun. They're never.
They're loud. Fun. They're loud. Be prepared for a loud, packed stadium. No matter who they play, Saginaw's always, and the Griffins get get out of the playing round. 1-1. 1-1. We only needed a point to move on, to get out of that. So, holy crap! I was nervous. Just the way they started, especially being down 2 of their defensemen. We get the week off. We get some rest.
You get the
week off. God. Well, no, I don't get a week off because we'll be going right to Toledo, and depending on if they can finish it out or sweep them.
Hopefully sweep. Make that a little easier.
Oh, boy. Thank goodness. I am so relieved. It does give me a little bit of a break, a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, it gets crazy this time of year with these sports. I mean, us having to do the hockey tournament and the basketball tournament at the same time with MSU, thriving in both towards the end of the season. There was a lot to deal with and get episodes out and edit and all that fun stuff.
Oh, last year we did a post game for every playoff game. We did an episode. I don't know how Brandon, cheers to Brandon for doing that, editing those night after night, back to back. Some nights it was crazy. It was insane. I don't know where his head's at right now, but having a week off might help him. Cover this team, just go in. So if it's something that people liked, we did. The feedback was good on him, so I was talking to him about trying to do that. I like the live stream option for the away games. It does create a little bit more work on our end because there's only one of us clipping to get the highlights out to the people. But I would rather do more live stream, and maybe we do that on the away games instead of a post game reaction. So you see it right away.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's something to maybe bank for us, and especially in football season when we're not traveling to I know we got a game at USC this year, so
jeez.
I don't know if Emmett's going to make it out to that one. So.
If you're
Maybe
still with,
commitment.
yeah. But if you're with us, we are. See, we keep growing as the longer this game goes on. Giveaway for the Grand Rapids Jurassic Park jersey. We've got a couple of them throughout the offseason. We'll be giving away. We'll be giving one away tonight. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the thumbs up. Subscribe. Share the link. Do everything you can. But to enter, it's just subscribe. I'm just going to take the last couple subscribers, throw them into a hat, or ChatGPT, to be honest, and then just randomize and pull a winner. It's the most fair way I feel we've done.
You'll probably, sorry not to interrupt,
You're
you'll
good.
probably see me as one of them because I accidentally unsubscribed while trying to get the link to work. I resubscribed, don't worry.
Don't tell people that, because now it's going to be blowing up.
I'm not a new subscriber.
Collusion.
So take me out of that, but
That's him getting me back for the MSU slander. Because I try to stay unbiased as possible. So I went to Central with Chris, so that's my school. And then before you guys pile on me, I also went to Weston for grad school, so I can cheer for both.
I can't. It was weird watching Western play for national championship. I'm not gonna lie.
No loyalty here for Nick.
Uh,
We are going to be doing giveaways throughout. We do have a Patreon channel. If you like what you saw tonight, we're bringing in different guests throughout. I love doing the live streams. I love having more people coming in, giving a little bit of insight on the team, the prospects that are coming in, or the potential people coming in. You got a little bit of bonus time here, Chris. Is there anybody? I got a question. Do you have anybody on Michigan State that is unsigned, graduated, that we should give a look at, like maybe Isaac Howard?
I mean, that wouldn't be. I would fully support that. I went on a little bit of rant with a buddy the other day. If he becomes available and the Lightning want to trade his rights, God, I hope Stevie just calls. I don't know what else to say about that, but yeah, I don't know about graduated or getting up there. A lot of our seniors are either signed or, have rights that have been claimed, I guess. What was that? Oh, that could have been.
Pass me. We do all appreciate Brandon. He does a lot of work for this thing. He is like the main guy running it.
Yeah. I will say there is a it's going to be hard picking out of the next few years versus rosters because, like I said, there's a lot of draft picks on this team. They're NHL draft picks. So you might have to start calling Stevie and chiming in for some late round picks here. But I honestly think if Red comes to this team, because I'm not 100% sold that he actually gets there. I hope so. I don't have any insider knowledge saying that he wouldn't be, but I think if Red actually makes it to the team, he's going to be a good addition for either Toledo or Grand Rapids, and will be for a while. He kind of reminds me of just. I don't want to say he's not going to score as many points as Dylan Larkin, but he plays a lot like Dylan Larkin.
Responsible back.
Responsible.
Two-way.
Great leader. He's not going to be the point per game. He's not a 1C in probably Grand Rapids or obviously Detroit.
No way. Oh, he got hooked. MBN had a breakaway.
Oh, damn.
Can you grab that? Sorry.
You're good.
You're supposed to do those.
I listen. I haven't been watching it all.
There's too much going on. No,
Well, I'm sending it to you, and you can post it.
Okay.
There's a kid that we have that was a sophomore this year. Will be a junior. His name's Tomi Manisto. He's a Finnish kid. He's played for Finland in the World Juniors a few times. I think he could be a good, solid forward to add on a Grand Rapids or a Toledo.
We need as many forwards as possible.
Again, a little bit of ways away. He'll be a junior this year, but he again, smart plays. Numbers are going to be a little inflated in plus minus just because of how good MSU's roster was, but finished plus 13 last year, had a nice shorthanded goal in a game, 11 points, I think. So he's about a half point a game per player roughly over his career, I think. But plays well defensively, blocks some shots, that sort of stuff. So I think he'd be a decent add-on too.
I want to circle back real quick because when I watched 2 years ago, when I watched Red Savage play, he was pretty aggressive too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, he breaks a little bit of physicality. It sounds like MBN's going to be a little bit more physical as well. My guess is, from what you're telling me and what Lars is telling me and what I've seen as well, is they're going to see both of them be here next year.
I would think so. I mean, ASP maybe not for the whole year, but
yeah, I don't think he's going to be here the whole year.
I got to imagine there's a little bit of a acclimation to North America before he jumps right into Detroit. So
yeah,
I mean, I guess it depends on what Yzerman does for the defensemen too. We may need bodies up in Detroit.
we have enough bodies. We need players.
Yeah,
Is what I think most players say.
Good bodies. So we need good talent. But
we got a shootout going on right now. Iowa just went first. They missed. Coming out there right now is Nate Danielson for our first shooter. I'm just going to play-by-play this as we go.
Far ahead of me.
Yeah, sorry. Nate's going left, wide, pulls, beats the goalie. We're up 1-0.
God damn it. Sorry.
You just can't.
I just lost the feed.
That happened to me yesterday when I was trying to cover both teams.
I was like, wait, sorry, why? They scored.
No, because...
Yeah, I get you.
All right, Iowa's going. And Campbell saves it.
I just was going to ask you who started in goal. I didn't see the lineup before that.
That was gross by Nate.
It was. This. Oh, Nygaard went down. Deked. And he missed.
And he missed.
He didn't get it.
You're so far ahead of me. I just seen the cast. I just seen the save by Campbell.
Looks like somebody in the YouTube chat maybe is saying the same thing.
That wasn't MBN. That was ASP, buddy.
Oh, it's ASP? Oh, my bad. I was trying to... The numbers I've thrown off.
Oh, yeah, he's got the forward number, or the goalie number, really, but...
He just got in too tight.
You got it, yep. We went...
I'm trying to watch the reflection in the background of Nick's.
Yeah, that's way behind. That's why I'm always trying to focus here, but the stream I have on the iPad is faster. Good win, boys. All right, take your week. Get adjusted to the time change. Get adjusted to America. And I don't know if that could be a thing.
America. Oh, boy.
Yeah, so get rested up, man. We get Elmer back. We're going. These boys might not lose a game again. Just kidding.
Well, pencil in that game 1 loss now. All right.
I'm happy for Soupy too because, man, I'm scared of Texas as well. Soup all year, he's played well, and the last 5 minutes. If you haven't caught this in any of the episodes, so we get media requests the last 5 minutes of the game, and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, Soup's played a good game, and then he gets scored on, or they give it up, or he ends up losing it, and then not to his fault at all, and then it's just well, we don't want to pull the goal. We don't want to ask for the goalie. We don't want to pull the goalie. We don't want to ask for the goalie in media when we've just lost the game in the last 5 minutes, and I can't remember. We switched somebody out. We switched somebody out the other night for him. I think we switched Vinny out for him, but yeah, way to close it out. Way to gather, especially being shorthanded with the 2 guys being suspended this game. And I was going to mention this earlier is that prospects.
Oh, no.
What?
So, just disregard me. I'm just... Kansas City just tied this game.
Oh, you're covering. You're watching the E. 6. It could potentially be a 6-game suspension for those 2 boys leaving the benches. So glad it was only 1 and done. Yeah, I would go there, Alex. I'm going to put this on here. If we look like how we played at the beginning of the season, I predicted us going far. I think the addition of Elmer is going to be like literally huge, huge as well. Gives us another guy. These lineups are going to be they're going to be fun. Me and Travis talked about them off air a little bit of what we'd like to see, what we think we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I would have. It makes me so mad. Mazer's out for the year. Like having him here with this, like we finally put together a full team. Savage here as well, like that. Like just having those extra bodies, I think we line up a lot better from first line down to the fourth, and you have players in the right roles. But enough of me chatting. Let me see. I'm going to jump over to YouTube real quick. If you're still with us, I see we got like 328. Chris, anything you want to add? Plug yourself. Tell us where to find you. I did. If you haven't already, go ahead and if you found the first link that I shared, I did tag you on there. I tagged the podcast, but give us a rundown of what you're doing, where you're at, who you are, why we should listen to you.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you should listen to me or not, but I'll
you gained us more listeners in the time that you were. I'm just kidding. You technically did.
I bring the people in, I guess, apparently, but
you bring them out in masses.
Yeah. Well, no, I appreciate you guys having me on. For those who don't know, my name's Chris. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Spartan Shadows podcast. I also write for SpartanShadows.com and Spartan Avenue, so try to cover all things MSU related, football, hockey, basketball, baseball, gymnastics as of yesterday because we had the NCAA finals for that. So, check out. We got some good articles on both websites. I run a podcast with two other co-hosts, Zach and Emmett, who are really great. And we just have fun talking MSU sports and little off-topic sports in general, but just, try to hang out like this and talk anything MSU related. So if you're a Spartan fan, obviously check out for sure. If you're not, maybe come look in and learn some new stuff about MSU. And, we got a heck of a hockey season coming up. So if you're a hockey fan, it'll be something you want to pay attention to, even if you don't like MSU. So,
yeah, sounds like you guys going to be a wagon for next year.
Yep. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Quick update as well. Chicago's up 4-0 against Rockford.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, they are sitting. Rockford did say that they're going to sit a lot of people tonight. And I don't know if. Yeah, they're just sitting. I was going to say I don't know if they had anybody that was suspended. But I mean, even they're racking up the penalties tonight too. 4 or 5 penalties already in the. Kind of like last night's game where it got kind of off the rails quick. And there's 6 minutes left in the second, so we can close them out for the night. Don't need to pay attention to them. Let me see. I'm having a small issue trying to find. I may have to just announce the winner with a short video a little bit after. Yeah, well, maybe nobody added. Maybe we just hold on to this jersey for a little bit. View your channel. Well, no, because I know Lars did, so. Let's go this route. Chris, we're definitely going to have you on for the off season.
Love to.
Probably after the draft. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what our off-season schedule looks like right now. We're kind of contemplating doing some of the past Griffin greats. I don't know. That's the name that I've thrown out there. Some cool interviews with the Griffins players that that have gone through the organization. Some big names. We've talked.
Former Spartan Tyro Hiroshi should be in that list.
Yeah, Taro, who's overseas, we're definitely missing his presence this year, his veteran leadership. So I don't know. I would assume he's probably back this year for that summer. But yeah, throwing out some names, doing some of that. I'd like to go through and have a couple more guests features. People to give us some more insight, like Elaine, like Large, like you. I can't name the other two that we have lined up as well. For more information, more insight for some more players, but yeah, no. One's making their podcast debut tomorrow with our buddies over at another podcast. So if you haven't checked them out, Hockeytown Rundown, they're gonna have prospects on, and it's a guy that we have on our list as well. So that should be interesting. So a little plug for them. Love those chaotic rundown boys. But anybody? Let me see. I gotta go through the comments real quick, just see if I missed anything.
If you don't mind, I got texted.
Yeah.
Podcast social is at MSU Shadows Pod, and you can follow me on Twitter at Hockey Newman. I forgot to do that.
I do have you tagged in the initial post for the live stream as well.
Perfect.
So if you guys aren't right there, you're able to find us on our main account to tag, follow, share. Always good insight from you guys too. I know I love your guys' recording setup that you guys have. It's a little bit cleaner than what we've got. But anyways, to that.
Appreciate it.
Central Conference round. Let me see something real quick. I just want to read through, just see if I'm missing anybody, and then I'll probably do a video. I know we've got another video coming out too. Travis, did you send your video to Brandon for yesterday? Sky.
Yes, I did.
Okay. You want to do any updates? Anything for the walleye fans that are watching?
No, other than Kansas City tied it late. They're going into overtime. I have not looked around the league what else is happening. Actually, I'll just pull it up on my phone real quick. Toledo's next two games are Monday and Tuesday in Indy. Hopefully that's all we need. Looks like South Carolina won in overtime. They go up 2-0. In Florida and Jacksonville are tied and looks like headed to overtime again. 30 seconds left, so... And Tahoe smoked Wichita 6-1. So, and Fort Wayne is up 5-2. So that'll be 1-1 headed to Iowa. So that's a little bit of a update for the ECHL fans.
Well, I think we're gonna close this out. Sound good, Trav?
Sounds good to me. Thanks everybody for stopping by, and
thank you.
It's a week off for you guys, and then the fun starts up north for you guys.
I am excited. I know we don't have the home ice advantage, but at least we are guaranteed at least 2 games.
At least a series.
At least a series. So should be fun. I don't know what our coverage is going to look like. I know always follow us on Twitter. That's where you're going to get the most of us. Griffins episode coming next week. For sure. Yeah, we'll be recording probably Monday night. Brennan.
You guys are going to do that on your own then, because I will be fully invested watching the walleye game.
Which, fair. Everybody have a good Easter. Stay safe. Celebrate responsibly as well. Well, there's another holiday tomorrow. And we'll see you on the next. I'll send a video here shortly, announce the winner for the YouTube subscribers in the Twitter account. But from there, good night.
Go green.
Go white.